Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? We got a show. All right, hang tight. Let me let everybody know that I am streaming. Is there something stuck in my teeth? I think there's something stuck in my teeth. Everyone, streaming live and taking calls. Looks like Shritty5 says, yay! Hi! Hello! It begins! We just started. All right, let's take a look at the videos. Let's look at the video suggestions while we wait for calls. Trey has sent a Gen Z's radicalization should not surprise you. So let's
On
take
the
a look at
surface, Gen Z looks just like any other generation before them, sort of. But beneath their external appearances are some of the most extreme ideologies the world has ever seen. Take a look at this guy. He goes by the name Clavicular online. Seems like a normal dude, right? But if you watch even 30 seconds of one of his videos, he will start using words that, to maybe 80% of people who speak English, seem completely made up.
So we take a look and we've got a lot of rosacea, just showing you a basic way to improve by 1 to 2.
Wait, rosacea is not an English word? I thought rosacea is an English word. Is that not? Rosacea, long-term skin condition that causes facial redness. Why is this guy saying that? Sorry. Oh, let's see. Bobro says, did you see Jovan in a new video where he watched a small part of one of your modern day debates? No, I have not. No. A small part? Timestamp me and put it in the video review and I'll take a look at it.
PSL, because these
I don't think Jovan likes me, man. I'll be honest. I don't have a problem with Jovan. I mean, he's a socialist and I'm a capitalist. That's probably the only thing where we really differ. That and he's a little more extreme when it comes to, like, you know, policing and stuff. But other than that, I don't think we really disagree all that much. I think we're on the same boat, I guess. Anyway, let's take a look at this video.
These two things, these two softmaxes can go a long way. You know, with the lack of facial angularity, it's causing me to have an overly wide perceived facial width to height ratio.
Clavicular is part of a group of people called looksmaxers who first spawned on...
Sorry, chat. Give me a sec. My apologies. My apologies.
internet forums. Looksmaxers are obsessed with doing anything and everything they can to maximize what they call their PSL and SMV, their personal look scale and sexual market.
Also, what is going on with this? Is this video supposed to be like really low FPS? What is happening?
Value, respectively. They believe that the only thing that determines basically all areas of success in your life is your looks.
Scaly Boy says hello. Yes, we're actually going over your video.
And to not obsess over your looks is doing yourself a massive disservice.
Wow.
Do you value hard work at all?
No, absolutely not. I value efficient work. I value smart work. Hard work is a ridiculous concept.
In order to optimize his looks maxing, Clavicular has been injecting testosterone since the age of 14, and he plans on flying to Turkey soon for a double jaw surgery.
Do not do that. Do not do that. That's terrible.
According to online sources, he's only 19 years old. And yet
Bro, why does he look like he's like 30?
He has adopted what I think most people would consider a very radicalized view of the world. Subgroups of different extremist ideologies like looks maxing are not uncommon these days. Now we have groypers, a term
Not
used
the
to identify
groypers.
followers or fans of white
No.
nationalist and live streamer Nick Fuentes. On the left side, we have Antifa, or anarcho-communists, or tankies glorifying authoritarian
Oh my.
communist regimes.
Oh my.
We have black pillars, holding similar beliefs to looks-maxers in regards to the fact that the only thing that matters is looks, while extending their beliefs outside of the looks realm to an all-encompassing doomeristic view of the world. We have hyper-masculine...
Why does any of this matter? Looks Maxer is like such a low bar, I feel like. It just feels like why is that your focus? Like, oh, you gotta look a specific way. Otherwise, I don't know, girls won't like you. Like, honestly, like, just be a likable person. Talk about what they're talking about. If you don't follow my advice. I don't know, whatever. Okay, let's keep going.
and traditionalists and tradwives who think we should repeal the 19th Amendment, and hyperfeminists who think men are the source of all evil. When you scroll through the trenches of social media, Reddit, or underground internet forums, your first instinct might be to ask, how could anyone seriously think like this? But if you understood the world much of Gen Z inhabits, and how that world compares to the history of past generations of radicalized youth, this would not surprise you at all. So today, I want to talk a little bit about that history. I want to explain to you why the youth have always radicalized during moments like these, how that radicalization has adapted.
Cowcrapper says, I'm footwear maxing. How many shoes do you have? Cowcrapper.
To the internet era and offer a way toward maybe, just maybe, not necessarily compassion, but at the very least understanding. And then we can talk about what it would actually take to pull ourselves out of this. In order to understand Gen Z's radicalization, we need to look at its contributing factors. It's not enough to just throw up our hands and say, wow, these people are so out of touch and stupid, as true as that.
Zach Nick says, wish Jay Dyer was here. Which one was Jay Dyer again? I'm pretty sure Jay Dyer is writer, researcher for the U.S. philosophy. Jay Dyer's graduate theory, espionage, philosophy. Who the hell is Jay Dyer? Is that who we're talking about? Wait, who are we talking about? Oh, this guy? Jay Dyer. Which Jay Dyer was here? The Middle East, Eastern Orthodoxy, the Enlightenment liberal ethos is collapsing. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Jay Dyer, the family that took over the world. The Habsburgs? That's a Habsburg. That's the Habsburg jaw. Pope of the future? This guy seems kind of like conspiracy nut-brained. Anyway, whatever. Jay Dyer Lamau. Jay Dyer is with Jim Bob. He's that weird Eastern Orthodox dude. Ew, cringe. Cringe, Eastern Orthodoxy, yo, cringe.
Might seem in some cases, we need to ask what kind of world produces young people who think this way. Switching the framing like that can provide us with a perspective that might help cool our anger towards these groups' harmful or hateful beliefs, while allowing us to observe historical trends that answer the question I just posed. Historically, young people are more prone to radicalization when certain conditions are met, and the conditions I want to focus on in this video are economic instability and declining optimism, adults and institutions failing to provide stable meaning and a sense of generational betrarational, and massive technological
wait, are you
shifts.
saying that we should give
and
more
if it isn't
working
obvious to you
class
already,
rights?
all of these kind of work.
Are you saying that we should have like better like situational outcomes for like the working class? What? No way.
In tandem. One affects the other, and so forth and so forth. So let's go over the first point, economic instability and declining optimism, using a time where mass radicalization of the youth reached a somewhat similar popularity as it has today, post-World War I Germany. Germany came out of the war.
We got Working Man 55 who's joined, saying hello everybody, hello.
defeated and humiliated, sending the economy into full hyperinflation. By 1923, the monthly inflation rate peaked around 29,500%, meaning prices were doubling every few days. One US dollar, which cost 50 marks in 1920, was suddenly worth 4.2 trillion marks by November 1923. Middle-class savings, pensions, and long-term wages were basically erased, and if you're young people watching your parents' finances vanish overnight, the message is pretty clear. The system doesn't work, and the adults in charge have no idea what they're doing. Hyperinflation got tamed by 1924, but the damage to trust was done. Then, the Great Depression hit. Industrial output fell by roughly 30%, and by 1932, around 6.1 million Germans were unemployed, about one-third of the working-age population. Historians writing about this period talk about a, quote, lost generation of jobless youth whose entire entry into adult life was barricaded. Being young in 1930s Germany often meant no job, no prospects, and no clear place in society.
Time come for extremism.
Now let's talk about how this funneled young people into extremist thinking. In this context, radical political groups became one of the only places offering a story.
Is the whole story like, yeah, people's socioeconomic conditions were poor and therefore extremism? I'm like, duh. Is that really their point? Like, because I feel like anybody could figure that one out.
That made sense out of the chaos and a path to feeling useful and important. On the far right, the Nazi Party and its orbit leaned hard into youth recruitment. After the crash, Nazi electoral support exploded from about 2% of the vote in 1928 to 38% by mid-1932.
By the way, y'all, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. You can call me. Okay, so Daniel is saying that I could call him whenever. I'm actually going to create a locked channel, I think. Or no, no, I'm just going to call Daniel. I'll call. Let's get Daniel in here. Let's get Daniel in here. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Daniel. Wait.
How are you doing?
Oh, can you hear me better? Hopefully you can hear me better. Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you. I could hear you before. I hope you're hearing me.
Hello.
Good. Yeah, I have the right microphone.
Yeah. We're just going over some videos. The Cole Hastings has adequately said that it turns out that when you make the working classes conditions poor, they turn to extremism. And I was like, well, duh. Why would that not be the case? Okay, anyway, we're gonna continue watching this.
Making them the largest party in the Reichstag.
By the way, y'all, we are taking calls. Phone number 202-998-5218. If you've not called in, call in. We can have a discussion.
Paramilitary groups like the SA and earlier Freikorps units, often made up of men in their 20s, gave disoriented young guys uniforms, camaraderie, and a sense of political purpose. But the clearest example of this youth funnel is the Hitler Youth. Membership was relatively modest at the end of 1932, about 108,000 boys. But after the Nazis took power and started suppressing rival youth organizations, membership skyrocketed to 2.3 million by 1933 and around 3.6 million by 1934 and kept climbing in the later 1930s. It's important to note that people don't necessarily adopt extremist racist ideologies simply because of economic instability, but if there's...
Could have fooled me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just like, okay, maybe it's not just economic instability, but it's mostly that. Am I crazy in saying that?
Look, I mean, it's like if you're looking at what like Gramsci was saying, you know, there's also like this thing that he was talking about, which is like culture. Yeah, Gramsci. Yeah, Antonio Gramsci was like an Italian communist.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was talking about this thing called cultural hegemony, where you're gonna have this.
How do you spell that? Gramsci.
Gramsci.
God, I never would have gotten that. All right, Gramsci, Antonio Gramsci. What can you tell me about Antonio Gramsci? Antonio Gramsci. Antonio. Man, dude. Is he a leftist? Is this a leftist?
he's a communist. So
I could tell
yes.
by the face. I could tell by the face.
He was a communist.
I don't know, dude. I'm telling
But
you,
he's
dude, at literally every commie,
he's a
every
great
commie's
guy.
got to have the same. They got the same beard. They all got the beard.
Well,
they got the crazy
I don't
hair.
know, man.
You know, there's a lot of them.
So look, have you ever heard about the Irgun or like Haganah?
Okay.
So like
Anyway.
the Irgun, the Haganah were like these Zionist brigades, right? Like terrorists. And trust me, it's like I've seen pictures of them because they were kind of in the same period. They look the same, right? It's like
Okay.
you wouldn't, like
Fair
people
enough.
back then just looked the same.
Yeah, they look the same on virtue of big beard looked cool. Anyway, during imprisonment, Gramsci wrote more than 30 books and 30,000 pages of history analysis. Prison notebooks are considered highly original contribution to the 20th century political theory. Gramsci drew insights from varying sources, not only other Marxists, but thinkers like Niccolo Machiavelli, Charles Darwin, Sigmund Freud, Friedrich Nietzsche. Dude, I swear, everybody draws from Nietzsche. What is with Nietzsche? The guy's just like a
people just
Reddit
love it.
incel.
Kind of.
He is a Reddit
but so the
incel.
thing
If you
is-
listen to him,
Yeah. I mean, I don't like Nietzsche that much because you can take anything you want from
you can,
from
yeah,
Nietzsche.
you can
It's like
garner
he's all over the
whatever
place.
you like.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
that's
what?
why it's
Okay,
like I
so what
don't
about
trust him that much.
Antonio Gramsci? Did you want to?
So he had this idea, right? And it's one of these like his like most important ideas, right, for like the 20th century in political philosophy of the cultural hegemony, where he says that the ruling class, once they take power, right? So you can get to the power, let's say it's like you have all these like fucked up economic conditions, and because of that people turn to like these radicals, and they put them in power. But once they're in power, they can do the cultural hegemony, where they're just maintaining that power, not just through force or like the laws that they can enact, but also by shaping the culture around them, right? And making it look like it's it's like the Republicans are always talking about common sense. They always talk about this. It's common sense that we should do this. It's like, we should kill the Jews. Yeah, of course, that's common sense. It's like, and it's like this type of cultural hegemony, this type of cultural impact can actually maintain these extremist views, right? Like the Nazis did, right? Because initially they took the power a bit like forcefully. They enacted all their like racial laws, right? They did that. But they also worked on the propaganda, right? That's why you had like somebody like Goebbels, like constantly working on the German culture of the time, where they would constantly say, "Oh, it's like it's for the good of everybody. It's like it's just good. It's common sense, guys. We have to do it because it's common sense."
Understood.
And that's how they maintain the structure.
Gotcha. Okay.
You see, today you learned about Gramsci.
Wow. I learned about Gramsci. Wow. All right. Anyway, let's continue.
Some part of that embedded already within the culture, and then a strong enough, confident enough political leader produces enough propaganda to convince you that your problems will be solved if you attach yourself to these racist ideologies. That's when it really starts to sprout. On the far left, there was somewhat of a similar story. The Young Communist League of Germany, the youth wing of the Communist Party, grew into a dedicated militant organization whose membership peaked in the tens of thousands by the last years of the Weimar Republic. So you have one set of youth channeling their anger into nationalist extremism and racial hierarchy, while another channeled it into revolutionary extremism and class war. But both sides are reacting to a structural reality where their future was stripped away from them, and in that reality, extremist organizations promise three things that normal institutions can no longer promise, which is certainty, belonging, and a future. Without thinking too hard, you can clearly see how much of this mirrors the material conditions and cultural narratives happening in the West today. The unemployment rate for Americans between 20 and 24 just hit a 10-year high, excluding the pandemic. And for the first time in the last 40 years or so, the unemployment rate for recent college graduates aged 22 to 27 is higher than the unemployment rate for all workers. While renting prices have cooled down significantly, the general cost of living has not. Any Gen Zer can tell you how unaffordable daily life feels now, even with an average job. And of course, the rising cost of education throws them into thousands of dollars of debt before they can even get started.
Pretty
In a
brutal,
system like
not gonna
this,
lie.
it's no wonder that young people are more susceptible to latching on to extremist ideas, because those ideas, unlike the solutions
'cause all
proposed
this stuff is,
by
like, locked
people who
off.
are more nuanced and sit in the middle of the political spectrum, are vivid and establish a clear enemy, which to them at least is much better than having no purpose at all. But I want to expand upon that point a bit further after going into the next condition which usually leads to radicalization in a society: adults and institutions failing to provide stable meaning and a sense of generational betrayal. But first, I've been talking extensively on this channel about being chronically offline, and the importance of that is really going to be highlighted in the second half of this video. But
I'm probably one of the most chronically online people ever, dude. I am the chronically
I feel you,
online
man.
guy. Like, bro, I mean, my job, I do, I'm a sysadmin. I take care of, problems that occur on networks, and I'm just remoting into people's stuff and doing that. And then when I get off work, I'm on my computer. That's
You
just
gotta
what
do
I
what
do.
you gotta do, man.
All right. It's what I do. Okay. It is what it is. And I'm just going to accept that, hey, my life is spent in front of a computer, and I don't know. That's just how I am. I like it. I enjoy it.
one thing that's really helped me with that is e-ink devices, and that's why I'm happy to introduce today.
Ew, paid advertisement, but I get it. You got to get,
Sponsor.
can I just be honest? If I ever got a paid advertisement, bro, I would be so happy. I'd be like, oh my God, is this what it's like? And then I'd be like, we read Shadow Legends. I don't know.
The lack of
Shadow
for any sort of
Raid,
read and or in a dark
does Raid
environment.
Shadow
If you turn the
Legends even
brightness
do that
all the way
anymore?
down,
I don't even think they do.
So if you're interested in
Holy
tech
crap,
and-
how long is
before
this?
the internet
Okay.
became the youth's primary source of information, most of your sense of how the world works came from a few big pillars: your family, school, maybe a church or religious community, and whatever image of the country you got from news, movies, and politics. If they're functioning well, they offer some kind of answer to questions like, what matters, who can I trust, and is the future worth working toward? It's common for the youth to disagree or even rebel against the most common answers to these questions, but they still form a stable backdrop. However, when these institutions start to feel hollow or hypocritical, that backdrop collapses. To see how this played out in the real world and relate it back to today, we can look at the late 1960s and early 1970s in the US and Western Europe. In the early 1960s, most Americans still believed the federal government was basically trustworthy. In
Bro, imagine living in a place when they trust the government. Man,
Yeah,
I can't
because you
even
didn't have as many
imagine it.
billionaires back then.
It's not even a
That's
matter
why.
of there being, it's like what the CIA has done, how much has
Well,
been
that
hidden
too.
from the
But I
United,
think
from
they're
like
linked.
just citizens, like all of the coups and it's like, why would they not turn on us at all? It's like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that we're like at an all-time low for trust in the government.
1964,
It
about
is a bit
70
sad.
All the homeless veterans too.
Yeah.
87% of Americans said they trusted Washington to do what is right just about always or most of the time. Within a decade, after the escalation of the Vietnam War, civil rights clashes, urban riots, and the Watergate scandal,
By the way, y'all, I should remind you, if you've not hit the like button, do hit that like button. I appreciate y'all very much. I'll give you a kissy kiss. Mwah. And then also, if
I
you
did do it.
want to have a conversation, you can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. You can also add me. Let me see. I'm on Discord. Let me see. What am I getting pinged with? Who pinged me? Someone pinged me. Ah, sorry. Anyway. Oh, Bobro, he sent me the Jovan Bradley video saying, and started reviewing literally just a small part and talking about Taylor Fogarty at 2033, but it's just a small critiquing one of your arguments. Man, I'm on his side. He's critiquing my arguments, motherfucker. All right, should I
Don't
even
get
look at
triggered,
it?
Amanda.
All right, we're going to put this one on a pause. Let's take a look at it. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know. Jovan Bradley, I feel like he does not like me. I have a feeling he does not like me. Let's see. 28:33.
Or
And they're probably gonna be-
time to link it of her stance. Do we have like a timestamp here? kind of think when you have big debates like this, maybe timestamps would be nice.
Check my channel.
You know?
Jovan, I have
Back and
timestamps.
forth if you guys get too choppy with
I
each
want
other.
to hear her.
Syllogism. Are you able to say that for me one more time? Did you write
Okay, here
that
we
down?
go.
Sure. Killing innocent human beings is generally wrong. That's the first part. The second premise is abortion
P1.
ends the life of an innocent
Man,
human
I'm so
being.
serious here. What the
And the
hell?
conclusion is,
What
therefore,
was going on
abortion is
that
always
day?
wrong.
Must have been a shitty
Yeah,
day.
it's,
So I actually have
glasses.
contention.
No, you know what it is? You know what the problem is? The problem is that I'm on modern day debate. I can tell
Well,
it's going to be a
that's
shit
also
show. I can already tell.
Yeah,
So I'm
that
in a
is
bad
true.
mood. I'm like, I don't want to be here.
her premise, her syllogism, all right off back. P1 was killing innocent human beings is wrong. P2 was abortion kills innocent human beings. Conclusion, abortion. Did she say is always wrong?
Human being. And the conclusion is, therefore, abortion is always wrong.
Oh yeah, abortion is always wrong. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with this on its face. P1, I would argue, killing innocent human beings is not always wrong. Again, this is where it comes to find out personhood. If I pull the plug on somebody who's like in an unconscious state and is never going to wake up
Yep.
from that unconscious state, like,
Yep.
right? If I pull the plug on a brain dead person, I killed
Yep.
a human being. Like
Yep.
this was somebody whose body was still alive, but they died. So this is where I would push back. I don't know if Amender's going to push back on that. I'll be interested. I'm just going to hear if he does.
He
This
called
is
it.
where I
That's
would push
me,
back,
everybody.
on P1, killing innocent human beings is wrong. No, I would say
That's
killing
me.
killing
That is you
sentient
indeed.
humans.
He's talking about me.
Or I would rephrase this syllogism. P1, I would say unjustly killing sentient beings is wrong. P2, abortion does not unjustly kill sentient beings. Conclusion, abortion is not wrong. So that's where I would push back on that. So I just want to hear what Amender says. I'm going to
What
be
do
interested
you
in that.
contend with that?
And if he says something stupid, I'm DMing him. Like, why'd you say something stupid here?
What the fuck?
He got you there. He got you.
He's such a. He's so.
Did you
he's-
say something
He hates
stupid?
me. I don't know. Well, you didn't DM me,
he-
so
he
I guess I
doesn't.
didn't say anything stupid.
There you go. You see?
Yeah. So I suppose you'd be right that I would have to argue whether or not killing an innocent human beings is wrong. And I would have to say that killing an innocent human being is correct. What if that innocent human being is reducing the bodily autonomy of others?
Nope. Oh, nope. Amender, you fucked it up.
Oh my God!
Should've
Why
gone
is he
that way.
Why is he dogging on me? How's that fucking? All right, fine.
Okay. Should have gone that way. No. You should have pushed
Maybe he
back
has
on
a
her
point.
P1 and argued that it's an incorrect framing of what abortion
I'm
is.
just being charitable,
Ah,
Jovan.
damn. Well,
You shouldn't.
we can't all
Don't
have
be
the
charitable. You
have
can't be
the,
charitable.
the,
You gotta be.
damn, Amender. Why would you?
not with those people.
Because that's the thing. When she's preloading that innocent, it basically devoids the justification. Because innocence is going to imply that whatever you're doing is unjust to this being because it does not deserve this, right? It's not deserving of the action. Now you could take it to the stance that abortion.
I mean, to be fair, right? I don't even think I was thinking of like if somebody was like a, like a paraplegic in this moment. So I was like, okay, so if you presume that to be correct, then it would be correct, was my position. But anyway, it's fine. Let's just.
Like a fetus does not have the ability to possess innocence or guilt. It's an amoral agent.
Yes.
That's a way you could take this.
Well, so you could say that it is innocent, but it also, even innocent beings don't have a right to like take the nourishment of the body out of people, which is kind of where I was
But I think
arguing
he's
it.
right. I think he's right.
I mean,
in the
you could
sense that
approach.
it's not a moral
There's many
agent.
ways to skin a cat. I don't know what the.
I mean, it's kind of like saying, is it okay to destroy a fire hydrant? Because it's an innocent thing, right?
What is?
But is it
all right, well,
fair
let's
to
just-
say
let's
that a
just-
fire hydrant is innocent?
All right, let's just watch it. Let's see.
I probably wouldn't, because there can be something said that we can frame colloquially on like amoral agents as innocent in terms of not deserving an action, right? Not just innocence as in like the ability to commit immoral action, but also innocence as in like not deserving of a moral of an unjust action onto them. But again, I would have flipped it on its head and said that, well, killing innocent human beings is
yeah, Jovan, if you've ever been to these modern day debates, they're awful. They are not in your favor. If you're if you're like the anti-Christian fascist side, they are going to hate you no matter what you say. Taylor Fogarty just needs to show up, take a giant shit on a platter, and they're going to love it. They're going to be like, wow, she was so brave. She was so brave. She didn't even need to make an argument. It's true.
True.
You're laughing, but it's true. I'm not wrong.
I know. It's like I noticed that the modern day debate platform is like very pro-Christian.
Did you know that
it makes sense?
Did you know that modern day debate, they invited me to join them for Debate Con in Orlando. And I'm just like, I'm kind of like, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little worried. Like, if I go,
why would you be?
What's the chances that like I'm at a bar or something and somebody tries to jump me? Like, what are the chances there? Like, I'd love to go to Debate Con.
Big.
Huh?
I don't think there are big chances of that.
I need to get some some level of affirmation. Like, yeah, we have security there. You know, we're going to make sure that you're not going to get openly harassed. Like, anyway, let's.
Not wrong. And here's why. Because here's a direct example that you're okay with.
Let's see. Calgrabber says, modern day debate. When I learned that they were biased as they are, wow, don't do it. Yeah. So apparently it would be debating Rob Noor on stage. Yeah, I'd be debating. Well, hey, you know what? Here's the benefit about debating Rob Noor on stage. He can't Rob GPT it.
Well, that's
I think he might have, I could do it without ChatGPT. I wonder if he can. I think he would look kind of silly, I believe. Anyway, let's see.
Nobody's sitting here saying we need
to think about it.
What?
I didn't think about this. The fact that he wouldn't be able to have ChatGPT, that's actually like a big selling point.
Rob GPT, bro. Thing. Yeah, the fact that he will not have Rob GPT. He will not. We will not get Rob GPT. We'll just get Rob, and Rob will be like, like the whole time. I guarantee it. God, guaranteed.
Okay, now you have to do it. Now you sold it to me. You have to do it.
Shit.
You have to do it.
All right. Well, maybe. I gotta have some guarantee that, hey, you're there's security there. That we're gonna let a bunch of Crucible members, because those Crucible members fucking hate me, bro. They're like we gotta dox this guy, like unironically.
They hate everybody, man. Come on.
I don't know. It just seems it's like I would need to park far away. Like, do you see what I mean? Like they need to not see the car I drive,
need to keep brain dead people on life support indefinitely forever. So you would agree that is killing an innocent human being per your purview. And if killing innocent human beings is not always wrong, that means there are justified reasons, right? And those justified reasons would come into play with abortion. So that's where I would take it.
I agree, but that's not the way that I go with the argument.
I might message this person and be like, yo, you wanna debate me on abortion on the channel? Probably won't if she watches this video, TBH. So if you got all the way to the end of this video and you're watching, Taylor, whoops. But I think your abortion argument is trash. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video.
What the fuck? All he did was tell me my abortion argument is trash. He didn't even hear my abortion argument.
Her
all right.
Argument was trash. It wasn't yours.
Oh God, I'm so sensitive. Sorry.
You are.
I do tend to be sensitive. Well, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. I want to give congratulations to Jovan Bradley. I think when I first met Jovan Bradley, he had like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And now he's got 78,300 subscribers. I can get there. You just got to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all very much. I'm going to give you a kissing. Anyway, let's go back to the Gen Z's radicalization should not surprise you. Okay. By the way, we are taking calls. Anybody can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. If you guys want to call in and have a discussion, we can do so.
Scandal, that number had dropped to 36%, and by the end of the 1970s, it was around 25%. In other words, the default assumption went from the people in charge are trying, even if they mess up, to they're probably lying. At the same time, the Vietnam War made that loss of trust feel brutally personal, especially for young people. Between 1964 and 1973, the US military drafted about 2.2 million men out of an eligible...
Oh, and if you guys are not in the Discord, I can review some videos if you guys want me to. Otherwise, I'm going to end up picking from my own stockpile of videos. There was a guy that I actually declined to debate, and I was like willing to take a look at his content, but... yeah, anyway.
Pool of 27 million. The people deciding on the war were older, and the people forced to fight in it were overwhelmingly 18 to 26. That age gap is the emotional core of generational betrayal.
Crap.
The older people make these catastrophic decisions, and the younger bodies have to absorb the consequences. Then there's events like what happened at Kent State. On May 4th, 1970, National Guard troops opened fire on students protesting the war at Kent State University in Ohio, killing 4 and wounding 9 more. The shootings triggered a nationwide student strike that shut down hundreds of colleges and universities. Think about what that does to you as a...
Calcrapper is asking me to review my awesome boots and sneakers, Mr. Amender. You got it, Queen. King.
They're pretty cool.
Where's the logo?
Classic.
There's no logo.
What? Dude, you don't have to have a logo.
I need a logo.
Dude, you're so American-minded. You're so American-minded. Like, no logo.
Where's my logo? No, it does look very nice. They look very nice. Is that real leather? If it is,
it looks like
wow, good on you. Anyway, it looks good. Wow. Okay.
Young person watching that unfold. The institutions are basically saying that they would rather shoot you than listen to you, and whatever moral authority those institutions held evaporates. A similar pattern played out in France during May 1968. Student protests against rigid universities led to police crackdowns and street battles in Paris, and within weeks around 10 million workers joined a general strike, which was the largest in French history. The economy hadn't collapsed like Weimar Germany's, but a whole generation felt locked out by rigid institutions and a political class that refused to make room for them. In both cases, you see the same pattern. Institutions lose legitimacy, younger generations feel increasingly sacrificed or silenced, and more radical movements step in with a satisfying narrative. They say you're not crazy, you're right to feel betrayed. Here's who did this to you, and here's how we fight back. Talking about this with a bit of nuance though, and I'm going to highlight this again in the later portion of the video, I do think some radical movements are necessary. You know, going on protest, for students getting shot, going on this like nationwide meltdown, it's sometimes necessary in order to enact the change that you need. But you know, it is happening in a different sort of flavor here, and that's not necessarily the type of radical movements that I have been trying to criticize throughout this video and that I'm going to continue trying to criticize. These sorts of problems have only been highlighted and exacerbated to the nth degree in modern society. Using our next condition I'm going to go over, the technological shifts we've received over the past couple decades, every corrupt politician or scandal has been dissected and exposed, leaving little to no room for manipulation. And when you couple that with an increasingly unstable and unpredictable environment, it's no wonder why the youth feels like they were betrayed and the future that they prepared for never came. But by far, what is probably the biggest contributor to radicalization of all types that has undoubtedly affected all of these other conditions is the rise of the internet and smartphones. The globalization of information allowed us to educate ourselves on so much, but it also made it remarkably easier to fall into echo chambers of misinformation and extremist thinking to help us explain why we feel so lost, empty, hopeless.
You think I'm in an echo chamber? What do you think, Daniel?
I mean, that's like, I feel like we're all kind of like in some form of echo chamber. I don't think all echo chambers are created equal. So for example, you know, if you have an echo chamber where everything is true, is that a bad thing? Well, I don't see it as being a bad thing.
I feel like I've listened to like everything. Like I've listened to so many different political ideas and philosophies that it's, I guess my only caveat is like, if somebody is like openly and blatantly racist, I probably don't hang out with them. So there's a bit of echo chamber on that sense. But other than that, not really. Like, if I disagree with you, you're welcome on the discord.gg/first amender, FIRST amender. Anybody can join in. I just request that you're respectful towards other audience members. That's all, to other people. Anyway.
And displaced. It is not just politicians or people in power who can do the manipulating now. Anyone with enough confidence and perceived authority can lean into your confirmation bias, convincing you that your struggles are due to some singular life flaw or a certain group of people, when the reality is far more complex. Looksmaxing is one of those examples. Often looksmaxers align their beliefs highly with the black pill ideology. This is a sphere on the internet who believe that without good looks, you have zero chance of attracting somebody, getting a good job, or achieving basically any amount of success. But the foundations of society set them up for this kind of thinking. Before someone even considers themselves a black pillar, they're usually someone who's having more difficulty with women than they ever would have in previous generations, largely because the dating market has skewed in ways shaped by technology and a lack of stable opportunities. So what do? They go searching for answers online. Confirmation bias pushes them to focus only on what already feels true, which might be the belief that everything comes down to their looks. They start consuming black pill content in a viscerally emotional state, and the experiences within that community mirror their own. Slowly, they seep deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole, and that ideology seeps into everything they do. I can only imagine some version of this happened to that clavicular guy I mentioned at the beginning. Because let's be honest here, if technology and social media didn't push us to focus on the more superficial aspects of humanity, if the economy was stable and people had a fairly easy time getting a job and a partner, and it wasn't revealed that basically all institutions are lying to us and there's little meaning to extract from any of this, do you think the thought of I need to become a Chad Looksmaxer would have even crossed this guy's mind?
Courage.
Absolutely not. But the conditions of society today create the perfect concoction to produce more radicalized young people, because radicalization...
What are your thoughts on Looksmaxers, Daniel?
I mean, this whole thing, I didn't know that much about this guy, Clavicular.
Why is that what people care about? Why care about that shit? Like, I mean, you know, make an effort to look okay, but like, please don't go out, you know.
But it's not about the looks, Amanda. I feel like, so
do what you want. I just think it's kind of silly.
Like
why
what this guy is hinting at is the fact that you don't really have control over your life, right? Like most people, especially young people, they feel like it's like, I don't have control over anything, right? It's like all the laws are being made by boomers. You know, they fucked the economy, they fucked the environment, they fucked education, they fucked everything.
Very, very true.
I can't afford anything. It's like, what control do I have on life?
By the way,
I
y'all,
don't have control.
We are taking calls.
So they need to anchor into something.
By the way, y'all, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202-998-5218. You guys want to call in and have a discussion, we can do so. You can also add me on the Discord if you want. I can add you to the call. It's right now just a private call. But anyway, let's continue the video.
Gives them something to grasp in a world that feels increasingly nebulous. It also gives them a sense of identity, which is unbelievably important when you're young, and something that social media and institutions have broke. And that's another reason why this iteration of society feels so devoid of hope and purpose, even if there might be. At least in the past, if you were going through some shit, you would at least have that friend group or some sort of community, like a religious organization, that you could fall back to that hold the same beliefs as you.
Let's see. Amender is shitting on looksmaxing when that's the whole philosophy of trans. Trans is looksmaxing? No, I don't think so. If you mean like you want to look like the opposite gender, I don't know if that's like necessarily like looking the best, I guess. Like they're not going out of their way to look the absolute best. Most of them don't even have that money. In fact, most of them they don't even get bottom surgery, most of them. So, you know, anyway.
But the internet, in all of its individualized, hyperbolized sections, divides humans into extremely specific, unique subcategories that separate you from everyone else in a way that we have never seen before. When we gained access to any and all information, it gave us the ability to shape our beliefs into something uniquely our own. But the consequence was that agreeableness, even when it meant conforming to a group you didn't fully align with, began to erode. The amount of identity subgroups on the internet is insane now. There's gooners, doomer zoomers, e-girls, femcels, sigma males, neo-trad wives, based nationalists, anarcho-primitivists. The list is endless. You might not trust your government, your school, or your parents.
Progressives, liberals, I don't know.
But you can trust those guys in your Discord server or subreddit who can understand all the things that you're going through that nobody else can. Or you can trust the creator who's telling you exactly why you're struggling and exactly who's to blame. And there's also something a bit more insidious going on with the internet and the feedback loop it provides that I don't think enough people really understand or are talking about. I brought this article up in my last video, but it is simply too important.
Jay Dyer is based. Should I watch a Jay Dyer video? Who's Jay Dyer again? I'm not good.
Only if you want to have like your brain rotted. He's like this Christian Orthodox like philosopher, but I'm putting like heavy quotes around the word
quote unquote philosopher.
He's he's like his whole argument is just tag. Okay, so it's just like so you can imagine how smart he is, right?
Oh,
like running tag.
Let's see. Jay Dyer is a monster at debating. You know, I always have I always take what AOL and Excadriller says with a grain of salt.
In this case, it's kind of like a mountain.
Calcrapper says anyone who denies evolution is kind of not based. Yeah, true. Hold on, let's actually pull up. What are Jay Dyer's beliefs? Let's pull this up. Dude, what is wrong with you people? How do you guys sit there? Okay, he's doing the tag. No, come on, man.
I told you, dude. I told
you.
Come on. Look it up.
He does tag? Really? You guys are still stuck in tag level? Oh no. Oh no. Where do you go? Where do you get your facts? How do you ground all of your logic?
Ground knowledge?
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. God, it's the most thought-terminating response ever, bro. It's so annoying. Okay, converted Eastern Orthodoxy. Wow, classic. Previously exploring Calvinism and Roman Catholicism, he fiercely defends Eastern Orthodox dogmas, particularly the essence-energy distinction in Palimism, also known as made-up shit that people with funny hats made, while strongly criticizing Roman Catholicism, Protestantism, and modern ecumenism. Tag, so dumb, very dumb. Esoteric analysis of media, esoteric Hollywood. Dyer contends that mainstream movies, pop culture, and intelligence agencies use psychological operation symbolism and predictive programming to shape public consensus on advanced globalist agendas. I mean, maybe to some extent. I mean, you can look at the Republican Party is a really good example of that. Like,
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, whenever I hear somebody talking about the globalist agenda, I'm just thinking that
actually, he's not a pedophile. He's an ephebophile. I'm like, okay, all right, all right, bro, all right. Conspiracy and geopolitics. He frequently analyzes international relationships and elite power structures through a lens of deep politics, critiquing technocracy, global governance organization, and modern Western. So hold on. He's critiquing a technocracy. Meanwhile, the Donald Trump administration is enabling a technocracy. I wonder if he's a traditionalist, right-wing, nationalist viewpoints. What is wrong with you people? Are you guys even Christians? I just like for AWOL and Excadriller, are you guys are you guys Christians? Because I feel like that, I swear you guys are just like in a pipeline and you're just like stuck in, I don't know, whatever. It's fine. Jay Dyer sounds like an idiot.
Important to not bring it up again. This National Geographic article shows how social media keeps you in a constantly deregulated, traumatized state. In the article, there was a study measuring acute stress after viewing the pictures of the Boston.
Let's pull up a Jay Dyer video. Let's see. Jay Dyer.
We'll pull up a Jay Dyer video. Have your brain broken.
I'm gonna brain break. We're gonna brain blast. All right, let's see. I unironically thought that was Chud the Builder. Doesn't that look like Chud the Builder?
I mean,
Why is he
kinda.
trying to look like Chud the Builder? The
Maybe
Enlightenment
they think he's
liberal
cool.
ethos is collapsing. The real Illuminati. Oh, darn. Members only. Darn. 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 That would have been hilarious. Hold on a sec. What is
What, you don't want to become a
Christian
member? What?
Zionism? Really? With CIA whistleblower. Okay, family that took over the world. They stole everything. What they want to erase us. This one argument ends Protestantism. All right, let's just do what should we do? The Middle East. God, that seems boring as fuck. Let's do what is Christian Zionism? We're just gonna, let's listen in.
Evangelical Christianity is also an arm of Zionism, and also an arm, I would argue, of the American Pentagon or deep state. There's a lot of history that goes into missionaries being used and recruited for intelligence work, for all kinds of stuff. Other countries, such as Russia, for example, ban groups like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Man, this intro is wild, man.
Oh, by the way, you need to understand. He's Eastern Orthodox, okay? So he's Eastern Orthodox. So most likely he's not going to be a Zionist, including a Christian Zionist. But as you saw him, he immediately starts like kind of like praising the Russian Orthodox Church, right? Which is just as bad, right? Okay. I mean, they're not good.
All right, let's take a look.
Or things like Scientology, because sometimes they're cut out, sometimes they're used for that stuff. So part of what defines Rabbinic Judaism is actually their anti-Christian stance. Well, wait a minute, why are we supposed to do whatever Israel says? What does that have to do with American foreign policy?
True.
Jay, one of the most important issues on the international stage right now is the issue of the ever-expanding, ever-increasing number of Jewish settlements in traditionally Palestinian lands, especially, of course, in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip.
Absolutely horrendous.
There was an article in Haaretz about a week ago saying that by Christmas of this year, there will be no Christians left in Nazareth. There have been Christians in Nazareth for more than 2,000 years, and they'll be gone. Bethlehem is another traditionally Christian city, before that a village, that will soon no longer
Yes, it is true. The Zionist state is, in fact, also attacking Christians in Israel, not just Muslims.
Yeah, I saw like a percentage of like how many Christians there were like 70 years ago and how many there's now. Holy shit, it's kind of like unbelievable, right? It's like I knew that was the case.
Deliberate efforts to get rid of them.
I didn't really know the numbers, right?
Yeah, deliberate efforts to get rid of them.
Christians in the United States, they've been forced out. Do you see any way to reverse this trend? Or is the U.S. government all in to help the Israeli government push?
Is he going to be on our side here? I think he might be on our side.
Yeah, he is going to be anti-Zionist.
Is he going to be on our side? Okay.
Yeah, I told you, he's Eastern Orthodox, so he's going to most likely be anti-Zionist because like Christian Zionism,
I don't understand.
It's an evangelical, but that's an evangelical position.
But wouldn't he agree with like the Book of
like
Revelations here and say that
not in the sense they're
that the chosen people need to like be there and then they fight against Gog and Magog or whatever to bring on the second coming of Jesus Christ?
They don't have the same interpretation because remember he's an Eastern Orthodox. So what he's going to do, he's going to use the church interpretation of the passages. And the Orthodox interpretation of the passages is not the same as the evangelical interpretation of the passages. The same goes for like Catholics mostly.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, let's pull up one of his evolution debates? An evolution debate? Should we do evolution? Evolution. Darwinism deconstructed. Oh boy. Oh boy, is Darwinism collapsing? Oh boy. It's not. But all right, let's listen to it.
If you missed any of that on the live broadcast, you can catch the podcast by download on a number of venues after the show,
is this
including
just a podcast?
21st Century Wire.
What the fuck?
Darwinism annihilated.
13 years ago, 7 video. I was hoping to get something recent. 3 years. J. Dyer, Genesis Explained. J. Dyer, top 10 reasons I am not an atheist. Ooh, let's look at that.
Why I'm not an atheist. I was never really tempted with atheism. Ever since I went to college and started my trek into the world of philosophy since 18, 19, I've had a lot of debates with atheists. We used to debate atheists all the time on campus.
Homeland ERV 1 says leftists are dumb. LOL. Well, if you'll notice right there, we've got a phone call. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Would love to hear your positions. Why can't you people make a single coherent argument? I feel like I make single coherent arguments all the time. But you can, whatever LARP you want to do, bro. Like, hey, let's take a look at his channel. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Oh boy. Okay, let's take a look here. Hold on, just give me a thing again. We got here channel activity. How do I view this guy's channel? I swear they make it difficult. Go to channel. Okay. Aw, no videos. I was hoping for a video or two. At least some likes. Homeland, come on. Idiots.
Like his picture is of Homelander. I don't think he saw the movie or understood what the movie was about.
Idiots. You know absolutely nothing, you stupid. But I'm not going to call.
Also, my name is Homelander.
In the philosophy club, we would have.
Let's see. Amender's flag headband is getting destroyed by the green screen. That's actually true.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
But there is a green there. Can you imagine that there's a green there?
I can.
Okay.
Like I can visualize it in my head.
Visualize a green is in fact there where the green has been screened.
Have constant debates. So I'm very familiar with atheist argumentation. I had a lot of atheist professors.
Hell
and
yeah.
I even debated atheist professors when I was a sophomore, had a public
Hell
debate
yeah.
with them.
That reminds me of that one video of this guy. Hold on. This video. This is such a funny video. It just goes. Here we go, real quick.
Welcome to your first day of Ivy League college. Now, who here believes Santa Claus is real? Idiots. Now, who here has ever seen him? Have you ever seen him? No. Santa Claus is not real. Professor, I am a United States Marine and American combat veteran. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I love apple pie. Sir, if Santa's not real, sir, then who brings the presents? Well, that's easy. The parents, sir. But how do they know what I wrote in my letter that I wanted? Well, that's easy. So, well, I'm not... And if Santa's not real, then how come he has the reindeer, sir? Hey, you can't ask that. It's a free country, Professor. If Santa's not real, then how come he goes around the world giving gifts to all the girls and boys? That's it. Expelled. If you expel him, then you'll have to expel me too. Me too. Wait, don't beat up on him. It's okay. How come you're being nice to me? I don't know.
That's crazy good. That is crazy. You need to send it to me. Dude, I swear, like
I don't know.
All these motherfuckers, they think that like this is how it goes. Oh my god.
I remember
That is
when
crazy
First
good.
Amender used to debate people as he retired. Hey, phone number 202-998-5218. You can also at me on the Discord if you want to just join the call. I'll bring you up. Let's debate. I'm like waiting. I am looking for people that want to debate. Actively call in. The phone number is working.
Yeah,
all right.
literally working.
It's wild. All right. Why are you helping me? I don't know.
That is crazy good.
All right, let's listen to J Dyer. Here we go.
My philosophy of science professor at the time. So I'm very familiar with various atheist positions. It's a position I've interacted with probably for 20 years now. So maybe 21, 22 years. So I want to be as fair as I can. I don't want to give misrepresentations. I know that there's a lot of different views that fall under atheism. I know that some people conceive of atheism as agnosticism, just simply saying that we don't know, we can't know. And then other more hardcore positions that there absolutely is no kind of higher being, nothing transcendental, etc. So I'm going to give my 10 reasons. They're not really in a specific order, just like the other top 10s, why I'm not a Catholic, why I'm not a Protestant. You can watch those videos right before this. And here we want to...
Cowcrapper says J Dyer is a fun level of dumb, I have to say. I mean, you gotta be somewhat likable if you want to have that many subscribers. Atheism is an emotions worship cult. That's wrong. Call in and debate. I will fucking destroy you. I will rip you inside out with that argument.
Just kind of list the main reasons that occur to me. So if you follow a lot of my debates, if you've seen a lot of those, a lot of the interactions that we've had, a lot of the lectures, then you probably know some of these. You probably heard a lot of these, but
okay,
let's try to boil it down to something.
We're ready to get. We're going to get debunked
for a top 10.
They're going to debunk me.
The first one would be the transcendental argument. I think the transcendental argument is the strongest argument for God's existence, and it's because it shows the necessity of God's existence in a logical framework. It can be written out as a syllogism. We've given many examples of that syllogism. If you listen to the debate that I did with Dr. Malpass, you'll notice that towards the end of the debate, I listed a syllogism there that could work. But basically, everything that we engage in this world relies on everything that we use.
If you could take a look right here, we have here the debunker.
The debunker.
I love that he has rt.com bookmarked. Phone call! We got a phone call. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Phone call? Right, hold on. Boop, 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 boop. You're on the line with First Amender.
Oh, I'm calling in to debate. What do you want to debate about?
Absolutely. Well, you're on with First Amender right now. Can I get your name?
My name is Ken.
Ken. All right, Ken, what would you like to talk about?
I don't know. I just called in. I was just watching the live. I just stumbled across it, and I thought I'd call in. I don't know. What do you want to debate about?
Well, I'm a pretty hardcore progressive. We were just talking about some J Dyer video where we're going over his arguments on why he's not an atheist.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I am an atheist myself, though.
Well, I disagree with you hardcore there. I'm a pretty solid Christian myself. So,
You're solid Christian.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Pretty hardcore Christian. I think America is a Christian nation. We are a Christian country.
Oof.
We were founded on the principles of God. I mean, the Constitution was, in some parts, based off the Bible. So, yeah.
I would argue that the United States was deliberately founded actually against Christianity.
Really? And what evidence do you have to say that?
The First Amendment, the Treaty of Tripoli, the fact that they fled Catholics in order to you had both extremists that didn't fit with the Catholic Church and people that thought that the non-separation of church and state was too much. And so they came to the New World and then founded their own government on that basis. And so that would literally be antithetical to Christianity.
Do you know how many of the founding fathers were actually Christian? Do you know
Majority of
that,
them were deists. Do you think
Christianity?
deists?
Wait. I'm not done. Christianity, as an ideology, as a religion, is highly based in, I guess, liberty. Liberty and freedom. And our Constitution was founded on those principles. So, if you did a little research into that, I think you would find that the Constitution and the Christian Bible heavily overlap. You know, if you want to design a Venn diagram, right, and you have Christianity and the Constitution, I think those two things overlap more than you might realize. So, yeah.
Well, if we look at the original list of commandments here, it says here for the first 10 that put no other gods before himself, do not make worship of idols, do not use God's name in a bad way, keep the Sabbath day holy, honor thy father and thy mother, don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't tell lies about your neighbor, and don't covet what belongs to others. The First Amendment specifically states the 5 core freedoms: the freedom of religion, the speech and the press, the peaceful assembly, and the right to petition the government. So actually, in reality, they're specifically telling you that they are not espousing it on the basis of Christianity. They're espousing it in the absence of it.
No. The people that came over here to found the United States were Protestants, and yes, they were fleeing the Catholic dominance over Europe, and they created laws so that, yes, everyone could live in freedom and liberty here. However, that was done under the basis of their founding religion, right? So, I don't know why you think that Christianity played zero role in the founding of this country. I mean, God is even mentioned in the Constitution, so I don't know by which basis you are claiming the United States is a completely secular country, right? So I don't think you're
Where is
right.
God mentioned in the Constitution?
So, yeah.
All right. Well, number one, you saying that they came over as Protestants. If I assumed every single one of them were Christian, they were not. That would not necessarily mean that they espouse within the United States the founding of it on the basis of Christianity. Like, let's say, for example, that if I had some, like, I don't know, let's say 100% of Christians made, like, I don't know, some laws regarding like water codes and water violations. Is it possible that 100%, even though they are Christian, didn't base it on Christianity, the water codes?
I mean,
Do you see how I could logically infer that?
Sure.
Okay, so saying that they came over as Protestants actually doesn't make any sense. So, and then the next thing that you said is God is mentioned in the Constitution. Actually, this is a very interesting part. The Constitution, they specifically wanted to exclude God in order to create the separation of church and state, and which is why they don't use the word God. They use the word the Creator. Are you aware of the Treaty of Tripoli?
Yeah.
So then why do you think that the United States was founded on the basis of Christianity, despite the fact that founding fathers within a few years after the founding of the United States specifically stated the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion?
Hold on. Why do you think that it wasn't when the founding fathers literally came over here? And the principal reason that they came over here was so that they could practice their religion here and not be persecuted in Europe for their ideology. Why? Why do you think?
Because of the non-separation of church and state.
Wait.
Oh, I heard a question, so I wanted to answer the question.
Wait, what?
I heard a question, and it was a termination of the question, so I started talking, assuming you were done.
Okay. But the principal reason that people came to America, all right, was to practice religion. So yes, religion did play a huge factor in the founding of the Constitution, in the founding of this country, and you can't really ignore that. All of the founding fathers were Christian. All of the
I've already addressed this. Why this is this actually doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what are you not understanding? Right?
I said I've already addressed how that doesn't make any sense. Even if 100% of them were Christian, they weren't. Most of them were deists. But if even I presumed that to be the case, it is possible to divest themselves from Christianity in the foundation of the United States. Just because they were Christian would not mean they therefore must create something that is only Christian. And then secondly,
wait, what was that?
And then secondly, so what would be your response to the Treaty of Tripoli? The Treaty of Tripoli states in English, in the English text, the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. This was a treaty that was created because of Muslims that had arrived into the United States. And so they had created a treaty of peace and friendship with the Arab states. And in this Senate, and signed by the president as well as other founding fathers, signed in their name a portion that said the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. So why would the founding fathers write that if it was founded on the Christian religion?
Well, I didn't say the United States was one. Remember what I said. Remember my original argument. I did not say.
You said that we're a Christian nation.
Wait. I did not say that we were a theocratic nation and that 100% of the United States Constitution was dedicated to Christianity. I stated that Christianity played a huge role in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the sentiment that caused this country to come about. You know, that the sentiment that inspired the founding fathers to resist the English oppressors. Excuse me. Sorry. I didn't say that the United States was 100% founded on Christian principles. I said it was mostly founded on Christian principles. All right. So your point about this Treaty of Tripoli thing is invalid. I never claimed that the United States was a theocracy or a dedicated Christian state. All right. I said Christianity played a huge role in the underlying foundings of the Constitution. Okay. How do you refute this argument?
Yeah, the First Amendment calls specifically against that.
Really?
Yes.
Freedom of speech, but could you also interpret
it's
the
five,
First Amendment?
It's five different things. It also argues the separation of church and state.
Wait, could you also interpret the First Amendment as freedom of speech in regards to religion, which is, again, it again ties into the main reason the Founding Fathers and the settlers came over here to escape religious persecution? Do you think a huge underlying reason, do you think a huge underlying reason why that amendment was put forth was so that the Christians, the Protestants, that came over here could practice their religion freely without persecution?
So
again, you're not
key founding fathers
the underlying. Wait, what was that?
Says here, key founding fathers like Thomas Jefferson and James Madison actively argued for a separation of church and state. They designed the First Amendment to prevent a national religion and later used metaphors like a wall of separation to protect individual freedom and conscience from government control. And considering that is what exists in the First Amendment, it is fair to say that the United States Christianity did not, in fact, play a huge role in the Constitution. The First Amendment calls actually for the separation of Christianity from the government.
Does it? No, I don't believe that. No.
This is from Stanford Law School.
Really?
Yep.
Hold on. All right, let's see here. Hold on, I'm just doing my own separate research. Let's see here. You still there?
Yep. Just trying to help you out.
No. No. Let's see. Christian doctrine. Well, are you still there?
Yep.
Well, like I said before, the United States was not founded as a Christian theocracy. However, Christian moral concepts and Enlightenment philosophy did help shape its creation, okay? So, again, remember my original argument. The United States, and I know I sound like I'm going around in a circle here, but I don't think you're really addressing my main point, and that is Christianity had a huge underlying influence in the creation of the United States Constitution. So,
yeah, you already said this.
Wait, hold on.
You were quiet for like 5 seconds, and then I chimed in, and then you're like, wait.
Okay, I'm scrolling through this document here, and it does state that Christian ideas did heavily influence American worldview.
What document?
On human rights, nature, science, ethics.
What document?
I mean, even the separation of powers and natural rights and tolerance for disagreement was an originally Christian moral worldview, right? So these are things
Christians
that are
weren't always
not
being very tolerant.
in a document somewhere, right? These are not things that you can go and get a direct, concrete answer like you were trying to do earlier when you were saying the founding fathers signed a document that basically said the United States Constitution and Christianity had no, I guess, similarities.
So
right?
you're saying that the United States was created with tolerance?
Yes.
Created with
yes,
tolerance.
Respect
Okay.
for human rights.
If the United States was created with tolerance,
Christian principles.
you would say that a Christian principle is tolerance?
Yes, absolutely.
So it is fair to say then that Christianity is known for being tolerant historically?
Again, you're trying to, I guess you're trying to like harken back to the Crusades or the like religious intolerance in medieval Europe or whatever, but there are many different sects of Christian. There's Catholicism, Protestantism, Lutheranism, Calvinism. What's the Russian one? The Eastern Orthodoxy. That one. You cannot. I mean, these sects are different from each other. Absolutely. So you can't really tie, I guess, what happened in the Crusades to modern American Protestantism?
I mean, I don't have to just necessarily bring up the Crusades. We can look at like heresy trials. We can talk about mandating religion via the state. The United States is created in antithesis to that. So the whole idea that the United States was created with tolerance and they base this off of Christian principles is just false. Like historically, it's historically tone deaf. You don't.
Christianity played a huge, huge underlying role in the fact. Again, I think this is the fourth time I'm revisiting this point because I don't think you're truly understanding the point I'm trying to make. Christianity did again play a huge role in the founding of the Constitution, and I'm specifically talking about Protestant American Christians. Okay? I'm not talking about the Crusades, which were done by the Catholics, by the way. I'm not talking about all of the wars and the dysfunction that happened in Europe. I am simply talking about Protestant American Christians. Okay?
Okay. I mean, I could see where, like, if there was a Christian, they were looking at the morality of the Bible and used that as inspiration. But I'm saying that the U.S. Constitution was built and created in antithesis of that. It was done specifically to avoid the codification of a specific religion. You said earlier, in fact, the first argument that you made, I wrote it down. You said specifically that we're a Christian nation, but judging by the fact that we have separated church from state from its inception, we're not a Christian nation. We're a secular nation.
Again, you're thinking in straight black and white. I guess you're using a straight black and white worldview. What I'm talking about is a gray worldview. Not all white, not all black, a gray worldview, right? So you are saying that the United States was specifically created as a secular, anti-Christian nation. I am saying...
I didn't say it was anti-Christian. It's not anti-any religion.
I'm simply stating that Christian moral principles did play a huge role in the founding of the Constitution. Okay?
It doesn't.
Excuse me? What was that last
It doesn't. The
part?
First Amendment calls for the separation of church and state. So it would literally be the antithesis of it, the opposite.
No.
So when you separate church from the state, is that respecting the establishment of a religion, or is that not doing that?
Well, it depends on what you mean, right? If you are simply separating church from state and keeping them separate and still allowing them to practice their religion and still allowing 99% of the people who have come to power in this country and have led this country through wars, through economic calamities, and have built this nation into the beautiful, amazing superpower that it is today, I would say, yeah. I mean, it was governed, not just founded, but also governed by Christian principles. And I don't just want to stick on this, what was America truly founded on topic. I want to talk about how the country functioned.
I need you to concede the argument then, otherwise we got to move on.
Wait a minute.
I need you to concede the argument then, because you said I didn't want to talk about it, but obviously we're not a Christian nation considering we've created the separation of church and state. You've acknowledged all of that. And so you've had to goalpost shift multiple times in order to make it work within whatever's going on in your brain. And so we know that the United States was not founded on Christianity, right?
Okay, but can you concede the underlying argument that 99% of America's leaders, its founders, the people who have made this country great, were Christians, number one, and number two,
I don't know the
acting on
exact
Christian
percentage,
moral
but I'm pretty
principles.
sure
Wait a
it's
minute.
not 99, considering we've only had 44 presidents. So all I would need is one
I
deist.
said 99%.
We've had at least 2 deists, so there you go.
I said 99%. I didn't say 99 presidents. I said 99%.
Yeah, I said 99%, if you're listening to what I said. So we've had,
Yeah.
what, 47 presidents? And so
I'm not
basically,
just
if I even
talking
have
about
one,
presidents. I am
if I
talking.
even have
wait,
one
I'm not just
president,
talking about presidents.
hold on, can you listen for a second? If I have even one president that is not a Christian, that would bring you down to 98%. And I know for a fact Thomas Jefferson was a deist. He wouldn't have been a Christian. And it would not surprise me that there's more than just one deist there. So no, it's not 99%.
I'm not just talking about presidents in this argument. Did you know that the civil rights movement used Christian arguments to
Yes.
argue for their principles and to
Yes.
argue for, MLK was literally a pastor. Did
Yes.
you know the women's
What does that
suffrage
have to do with
movement?
the
Christianity was also
Movement
used
in history?
to justify slavery. What do you want now? Christianity is
Was
used
it?
for all sorts of
Was it?
helpful propaganda. Yeah.
No, I think those
You don't
were.
think you don't think that Christianity is you really don't think so?
No, I don't think.
What if I
they,
told you that I've read a book called Slavery by Noel Ray that literally talks about handwritten accounts of slavers as well as slaves that did in fact use the Bible to justify slavery?
Well, what if I told you I want to see like concrete proof that that book?
Yeah, so these are handwritten
Actually-
accounts
wait,
by slavers.
actually-
So yes, it would be physical, literal, real instances where people were using the Bible to justify slavery. And you could have right here, this is from Time Magazine, the Bible was frequently used to justify by pro-slavery theologians, politicians, and slaveholders, particularly in the American South prior to the Civil War.
Mhm.
How Christian slaveholders used the Bible to justify slavery.
Hold on, let me fact check you.
Okay.
Hold on, let's see.
Look at the cornerstone speech, Amanda, where it literally talks about.
Yeah, here's the book actually, The Great
yeah.
Stain by Noel Ray. Yeah, this is the book that I read.
Yeah, but the
That's wild
cornerstone
that
speech
shows
was
up here.
from the vice president of the Confederation, right? Where he uses
Well,
biblical
you can't
imagery.
deny that Christianity has been used for far more good than it has been used for bad. I mean, I wouldn't call slavers in the South Christian. I wouldn't call.
Well, they
I
call
would say
themselves
that they
Christian.
are
They use the
misinterpreting-
Bible to justify slavery.
I would no wait. I would say that they are misinterpreting the main message of the Bible, and that was
Okay.
honor.
They're not real
chastity,
Christians.
Freedom. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that they were true Christians. I think they were
Told you.
snakes. You know.
Yeah.
So again, I do not.
I think it's
don't
also
concede the argument.
fair to
Okay.
say that not all Scotsmen wear kilts.
Excuse me.
I think it's
I
fair
didn't
to
quite
say
hear
that
that
not all
last part.
Scotsmen wear kilts. I think if you want to be a real Scotsman, you should definitely wear a kilt. No real Scotsman would be caught dead without wearing a kilt.
I would argue, going back to our original. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I would argue
Didn't get it.
that Christianity has contributed far more good than bad, and that the majority of Christian preachers, thought leaders, thinkers, people like that.
Also, I would
coming
also
from a-
disagree.
Wait,
I think that Christianity has been fought for.
They,
You can't pause for like 5 seconds straight, and I'm trying my best not to interrupt you and not expect a response.
okay, fine. They did overwhelmingly good things for this country. They were an overwhelming benefit They did not misinterpret the Bible. They did not try to use the Bible to justify horrors like slavery. I mean, I'm black myself. I mean, I'm certainly no fan of slavery. They
you ever heard of the Slaves Bible?
As a liberatory ideology to build this nation up, to
have you heard of the Slaves Bible?
Here, to protect our rights. Wait.
Yeah, but I'm not going to make this into a preacher session. I'd rather have a back and forth where we can discuss instead of like listening to you preach to everybody.
Okay, what was that last part? I didn't quite hear you.
Have you ever heard of the Slaves Bible?
What is that?
So it was specifically a Bible that was used for the use for black slaves.
Yes, Christianity was a liberatory force in the fight against slavery. What more do you want?
No, it was done specifically to keep them subservient, right? For example, they would repeat over and over, slaves, obey your earthly masters, you would with respect and fear, just as you would obey in Christ. They would say these verses over and over to get slaves to be obedient to their masters.
I would say Christianity was an overwhelmingly liberatory force in the fight against slavery. I would say that it was a force that, I guess, mobilized the slaves and mobilized the North as well. I mean, many abolitionist arguments made Christian arguments to fight back against the common narrative, the common doctrine in this country in the 19th century that slavery was immoral and antithetical to the teachings of the Bible. All right.
I agree with you. That's true. That the Bible was used to prevent slavery, but this is a later rendition. I think it was only about the late 1800s that you started, or mid to late 1800s, where you started seeing arguments like that. Other than that, it was pretty fringe to argue against slavery and using the Bible to argue against slavery. Slavery was upheld for thousands of years, and Christianity was used to justify it.
And guess what?
In fact, if you look at your Bible, it literally tells you from foreigners you may buy slaves.
Okay, which religion freed the slaves? I'll also turn that back on you.
I would probably say like human reason and logic freed the slaves, but I mean, maybe someone could say that Christianity played a role
in the North,
but
led to the freeing of the slaves, led the North to want to abolish slavery, which upset the South, and the South got all upsetty spaghetti and decided, if we can't keep our slaves, we'll just up and secede, and we just, crush them militarily, I mean, it's not like the South was ever going to win that fight. I mean, the North had way more factories, had far more manpower. I mean, the South was never going to win a long war.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving back to the original point,
well, if you take a look at, I wanted to show you Leviticus 25:44-46, that says, as for your male and female slaves for whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from among the aliens residing with you, that's foreigners, and from their families that are with you, you can have, who have been born in your land, and they may be your property. You may keep them as possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. This is in the Bible. This is why it took so long to get rid of slavery.
In the Bible?
Huh?
Who wrote that verse in the Bible?
This is Leviticus 25:44-46.
The teaching of a false prophet.
This is Leviticus 25:44-46. It's
That's
in every.
Moses.
It's in every. It's
Is
in every
Moses
Bible.
a false prophet?
It's in every Bible. This would have been under Moses, actually. This was actually God specifically speaking further commandments onto Moses. Did you know it doesn't stop at 10, right? It actually continues onward much later. There's about 613 commandments, actually. And this is another one that's there.
Okay. Like, do you really think that is a do you really think that is a proper argument against Christianity when the North literally used verses from the Bible to justify their war against the South and their war against slavery and their war, even after the Civil War, to break up the Ku Klux Klan in the South?
Well, you said that the Bible was anti-slavery, but that's empirically false. And considering we're looking at the verses that specifically show that the Bible was not anti-slavery, I could reckon to say that there were people that justified anti-slavery by using the Bible, just as that there were people that argued in favor of slavery with the Bible.
Well, you know, Jesus
both of those
also
things
told
can
us to beware
can
of
exist.
Wait,
because there's
hold
lots
on.
of contradictions
Jesus also,
that exist in the human-made book.
Wait, Jesus also told us to beware of false prophets, and
True.
I think throughout history there have been a lot of false prophets that have misled people and deceived people using Christianity. So, I mean, go look at James Tallarico in Texas. I think he's using Christianity to deceive people and get them to support immoral things and immoral actions.
Tell you
Like,
what,
these
let's
people
try
are everywhere.
let's try another one. Tell me what you think of this verse here. It's probably one of my favorite verses. It says here, this is Exodus 21:20-21, saying specifically, anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result, but they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property.
Well, I wouldn't.
What do you think of that verse?
No, I would tie those verses to the time that they were written. Okay, so those verses were for, I guess, the Middle East 2,000 years ago. In modern America today, we can use Christian principles to, I guess, guide our behavior.
Yeah,
in the
and
modern
they
world
applied
today.
those rules
So,
for about 1,700 years, and then they were like, okay, let's not do those rules anymore. I agree.
yeah. So
the Bible does promote slavery.
Well, it also said, beware of false prophets, and I think a lot of the
Yeah, but we're talking about the
slaveholders-
slave thing. Remember you were saying that the Bible is anti-slavery when clearly it's not?
Okay, fine, I concede that argument.
Based. Do you have anything else
All
for
right.
me? Very interesting conversation.
No, not really. Do you?
Appreciate your call, Ken.
All right.
You have a great day.
You as well.
That was wild.
It was a very confused grasshopper. I gotta
Very
tell you, man.
confused. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Wait. Yeah.
You just finished
Wait,
like a
wait,
million
wait.
years ago. It's like, what?
I was like, man, I waited.
Like you
I
just
was
made
being
an
very-
argument to ask me a question. It's like
Yeah.
you did all these things and then you shut the fuck up and then I have to respond. It's like, just let me respond.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't
we've
know
got
why they
CMBY
keep saying-
God saying, have you figured out whether you're a man or woman yet, dork? Man, why you got to come at me so aggro? Just call in. Jesus. Y'all got to chill. Just
think he knows
because
if he's a
you
man.
disagree with me doesn't mean that you got to be so nasty. All I'm doing is arguing my positions and, try to contend with it. Give me your arguments. I want to hear your positions. The phone number is 202-998-5218. Let's see. Are you going to say Ken is good faith because you said you're right? What? CMBY says, so no answer. So I specifically, first of all, that's a very personal question, whether I'm a man or a woman yet. If you're meaning like woman by gender, listen, it's a journey. All right. So, I don't know why you're that concerned about my homosexuality, or my sexuality that rather. Is that something that you're interested in? I don't really understand.
I think he should come out of the closet. Come on.
Yeah, maybe.
It's 2026. It's okay to come out of the closet. Don't worry. It's like nobody.
Let's see if I got some
in this
videos
community. Nobody's gonna be upset with you.
Curious if we got some videos. Has anybody posted any videos? Any videos? If not, I'll just look for something.
Amanda, I wanted to ask you, did you see the results in Michigan?
Yes, very happy.
For the Democratic
very happy to
primaries?
see that a progressive candidate has actually won.
Dude, you know what I think happened? Because the margin was like very slim, right?
Was it?
I mean, literally within
It's a
like
swing
1%.
state.
Well, not really. Again, we're talking about the Democratic primary, and it's like every poll we're giving Abdul El Sayed is, like 2 digits like above like Haley Stevens, right? But then I found out that Michigan is an open primary state. You know what that means?
Have seen a video of Andrews recently. He seems like a nice enough guy. You think that guy is nice?
Who? Andrew? What Andrew?
Andrew Wilson.
Oh, no. Okay, God, no. He's anything but a nice guy. He's literally the
phone call.
opposite of one.
You're on the line with First Amender.
Hey, what's up, First Amender? Arries
Hey.
Vandam. How you doing?
What was your name?
Arries Vandam. I was just in your comments.
Arries Vandam? Where's
Yes.
that? Let me look.
It was a while ago.
Oh. I'm
How
gonna
you
do
doing?
my best. I'm gonna butcher your name, but it's fine. Arries Vandam. Okay, what would you like to talk about, Arries?
Well, that last caller got me kind of thinking about slavery, and I wanted to see what your thoughts were on this. Do you think slavery was a good thing or a bad thing for black people?
Horrible. Horrible thing.
Really? Why do you think that?
The human destruction and death and harm.
Right, but
and forceful
but the other
suppression
solution was
and
to
pulling
leave
people
them,
away
right.
from their families and selling
Right.
babies
Well,
off
I'm not
when they
saying
were
all
still
the
nursing.
after effects. Those are after effects. I'm
Those are
talking
not
about the
after
actual
effects.
act
Those
of-
are direct effects.
Right, but here's what I'm trying to get to. You're not understanding the question. What I'm trying to say, if they didn't buy the slave, they would have killed that slave. They don't just keep them.
What? How about you just not take them?
Then they die. That's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
What do you think they do with slaves they can't sell?
Well, I'm against slavery, so you're not selling people as property. Do you see the
Right,
difference?
but I'm against murder. I'm against murder. What I'm saying is that they
so
saved
you would
that black
have
person's
slavery
life,
to
though.
prevent murder?
I mean, whatever you have to do to prevent murder. I'm not
So
saying slavery is
you
the
would-
right answer. I'm
Would you
saying it's a better
prefer?
answer than
Would you
leaving them to
prefer
die, though.
slavery as opposed to no slavery?
I would prefer no slavery to slavery. Yes.
Okay. So what are you
Mm-hmm.
arguing? I don't understand.
I'm arguing that it is better that they took them instead of leaving them there to die in a cage.
That's psychotic. They were put
Why
in
were
the,
they in the
into a
fucking
Why were
cage?
why were they in the cage? Exactly. That's
Right, but that's not
the
not
slavery
for them to
part.
make that determination. They're just a tourist there, right? Whatever they were doing.
but you're
on the cargo
justifying
ship.
slavery with
And they
slavery.
see a guy
They're
in
like,
a-
hey,
in a
look at
cage.
the horrible conditions we put them in. And
Right,
then,
I'm not saying that was good. I didn't say that was good, but it's still better than death, right? If you're dead, they
so
can't
why
do
not just
anything.
treat people as human beings, no slaves?
Right.
Open the
Right.
cage.
In 2026, I agree with you, but in 1600, I don't know that they
Also
all would
back
agree
then,
with
there
that.
were firm abolitionists back then. Though
No,
I'll
I'm talking about when
grant
they
you that
bought
it was
them
rather
before.
fringe,
No.
which kind of actually lays
Right,
into
you're
play
talking
my
later.
original
You're talking later.
problem
I'm
of
talking about
Christianity.
originally. No, I'm talking originally. Like the first ones who bought them, like they were doing a kind act by sparing that black person from being murdered. Like murder is worse than slavery, right?
Actually, I would probably prefer murder. I would prefer
Really?
I would prefer dying free than being forced into slavery.
I would agree with you on that to a degree, but here's what you're not looking at. You have to look at this from the aspect of their descendants. Do you think their descendants would rather that their ancestor die, or do you think that the descendants would rather that their ancestor live on so that they can,
Descendants
be born
only
and then go
survive
on
if
to live
they
their life?
live, right? So but they
Exactly,
wouldn't be
exactly.
consciously aware
What do you mean?
that they wouldn't
You're
exist.
aware that you would rather be alive than dead, right?
Like if an ancestor died, and honestly, a lot of death was wrought from slavery. So a lot of deaths were created from the descendants. So the argument is just to not have slavery.
Well, yeah, now it is, but I'm saying in their time, it was a different world. Like, what did you want them to do? Just
You
leave
think
that
it was
guy
like
to die?
to just not have slavery?
Well, right, but they're at a slave market. So what do you want him to do? Do you want him to leave that guy to die, or should he bring him to America
Where
so that
did a
his
slave
descendants can play in the
market?
NBA? Which is better?
What the fuck is this guy on about? My God.
Have you ever heard of
You have
Henrietta
to say it.
King?
Is she related to Martin Luther King? Oh.
No.
No, I don't know it then.
Can I read you a passage?
Sure.
All right, hang tight.
If it's just telling me how bad slavery was, I can acknowledge it was bad, but it's still better than death.
I
That's what I'm
find your
saying.
position to be, like, honestly, like I probably wish that I feel like that there's many instances of slavery where people would have wished for death, and it's like you
Possibly
sitting
so.
there
Possibly
justifying slavery is
I'm not justifying
morally
anything. I'm
abhorrent.
asking a question. I'm asking you a question. I'm not
Yeah, but the
justifying it
question
either way.
is like it's laying credence into slavery.
No, it's not. It's just asking you a question. And
Well,
you
but
can
I
answer it one
answered
way, you
it,
can answer
and
it another
then
way.
you want me to answer it in a different way. But slavery
No, I
is
don't.
abhorrent.
I
Like
like
we're
your
not
answer.
going to
I like your
argue in
answer.
favor of this.
Right, I like your answer. I like your answer. Slavery is abhorrent. But I'm saying in 1600 or whenever they're on that in the docks to buy that black person, it was the best option they had available.
It's
That's
not
what I'm
the
trying to
best option available. That's probably one of the worst options available.
say. What would be better?
Leave them alone.
Beat the slaver, free the
What?
slave.
Let them die.
Beat the slaver, free
No,
the slave.
why
That's
would
the
they
better
die?
option.
Why would they die if we left them alone?
Do you think they just keep paying to feed them forever when they don't sell? What do you think they do with
What?
slaves whenever they don't
No,
sell?
you wouldn't
What do you
have the
think they did with them when they
slave. You
didn't
wouldn't
sell?
have them as a slave.
Oh, so they would just let them go and be like regular.
Yeah, you
people
just
in
don't have
society? They would
slaves.
take
You
them out of
don't
the
have
cage?
people like if there wasn't
Right,
Westerners coming to Africa
but that's not
wanting
us.
to buy
Right, but that's not
people,
us.
there wouldn't have
That's not us,
been
though.
slaves.
Right, but that's not us. Like they have the slaves. I'm not.
No, they
like,
did
I don't
not
know
have
why
the
they have 'em.
slaves. It was the slave trade propagated the existence of more slaves.
So if they couldn't, what do you think they would do with that person who they were trying to sell into slavery? If they didn't have him to sell into slavery, what do you think they would do with them? You think they would just make him their
They
king? or do you
didn't
think they
have
would
them
kill
as
him?
slaves.
I know, I'm understanding that. What I'm asking you is, if they don't make him into a slave, what would they do with this black person who is in a cage right now? Like,
They
if there's
wouldn't
no
be in a
slavery,
cage.
what-
They're not a slave.
Right, where would they be? Right, you're
Out
getting it. You're getting
in the
it. Where would they
Serengeti,
be?
in Africa somewhere.
Oh, they would just. Oh, so there would be no conflict if they didn't have slavery. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. No, there's always conflict everywhere.
Right, exactly.
But at least they'd
That's
be
my point.
free
They've caught
to
this
make their
person
own
that they're wanting to
decisions
do the
under their
most
own
awful
basis.
thing that
Don't
they
have
can
slavery
do.
in the first place.
Right, you're missing my point. Right, they've caught this person who has done
What
whatever
is
to their
it? Why
tribe
don't you
that they're
just
against.
why don't you just come out straight instead of this silly argument? Why don't you just tell me what is your point?
That is my point. That slavery was a good thing for black people. Ultimately,
That
not
slavery
at the time,
was a
maybe,
good thing
but
for
ultimately.
black people. Okay, so let me.
Ultimately, yes.
All right,
What a
so I
piece of
want to.
shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read. I want to read this passage from you. This is a real passage from a woman that was
Well, it's not gonna make
interviewed.
me cry, is it?
This is a
It's not
woman
gonna
that
make me
was.
cry, is it? Don't do that. I don't
There
like
was a
sad
woman
stuff.
that was interviewed.
Read a funny one.
Where this was like after slavery was already abolished, but this lady was very old, and there was a newscaster that went there to interview her, and they wrote down what she said. And her name is Henrietta King. And so this is Henrietta King speaking. She says there was a young woman named Lucy who lived on the next plantation. She was pregnant, and in the mornings she was so sick she couldn't go into the fields. They thought her due date was still far off, and that was just pretending so that she could get out of working. Finally, one morning, and she didn't line up with the other field hands, the overseer came over to her cabin and dragged her outside. He laid her across a large tobacco barrel and whipped her terribly with a rawhide strap. That woman dragged herself back into the cabin, and the next day she gave birth to a baby girl. And this is no lie, because I saw it myself. The baby's back was covered with whip marks, crossings all over it. The next day, Lucy died. Mary was what the slaves called a clabber-colored girl with long black hair. Neither Josephine nor Miss Octavia liked her because she was prettier than either of them. One day, Miss Josephine went upstairs fixing herself up. Her suitor arrived, and so sent Mary downstairs to light a candle in the front room. Mary took a taper to the light candle, and the young man thought that she was some white woman. "Won't you sit down?" he said, standing up. Mary did not say anything. She simply lit the candle and hurried back upstairs. But Miss Josephine heard him, and she became so furious she refused to come downstairs at all. The next day she made Master take Mary to Richmond, and they either hired her or sold her. Hold on a sec. Fuck, what the hell? This isn't actually the full thing.
You're reading the whole book?
It's not the whole book.
Okay.
It's just I have to pull it up. Hold on. I apologize. This is not it.
How does it end? How does the book end?
It's not a book.
Like, I mean, we're doing a debate here.
This
You're
guy is
reading-
such a
you're
fucking
reading, like, a
racist
book.
piece of shit.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like a version of it, and it's like in a very strong, sorry, just give me a second. Oh,
It's
no.
actually all
Actually,
irrelevant
it
anyway.
is correct. It is correct. Hold on.
It's still irrelevant.
It
though.
is correct.
It's still irrelevant.
She said,
though.
see
Okay.
this face? See how my mouth is twisted over here so I can't close this? See this eye? It's all red, isn't it? It's been that way for more than 80 years now. I suppose it'll stay that way until I die. Well, the mistress made my face this way. You want to know about my slave days? Then sit down on the floor in that chair, and I'll tell you what slave days were like. Master was a well-meaning man, but the mistress was cruel. They were about 20 slaves there, and it was one house where men working in the fields got more to eat than the house servants. Inside the house, the mistress was so stingy that she didn't put enough food on the table to feed a sparrow. Well, here's how it happened. One day, she put a piece of candy on her washstand. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and it was my job to empty the slop bucket every morning. I saw that candy lying there, and I was hungry. I didn't have a father working in the fields like some of the other children to bring me food. I only got little scraps thrown for me from the kitchen each morning. I saw that peppermint stick lying there, but I didn't dare go near it because I knew the mistress was just waiting for me to take it. Then one morning I was so hungry that I just couldn't resist. I went straight in, grabbed the candy, stuffed it into my mouth, and chewed it up quickly so that way she never found me with it. The next morning the mistress said, "Henrietta, did you take that piece of candy from my room?" "No, ma'am, I didn't see any candy." "Child, you're lying to me. You took that candy." "No, ma'am, I'm telling the truth. I didn't see any candy." "You're lying, and I'm going to whip you. Come here." "Please, ma'am, please don't whip me. I didn't see any candy. I didn't take it." She took down her rawhide strap by the nail by the fireplace, grabbed me by the arm, and tried to pull me across her knees while she sat on her rocking chair so she could hold me down. I twisted and turned until she finally called for her daughter. The girl came, took the strap as her mother told her, and began striking me as hard as she could while the mistress held me. I kept twisting so she couldn't get a solid blow. Then the mistress lifted me up by my legs, shoved my head underneath the bottom of the rocking chair, and rocked forward to pin my head down while she whipped me some more. I think they whipped me for nearly an hour with that rocking chair leg pressed down on my head. The next thing I knew, the doctor was there, and I was lying on my pallet in the hall while he pushed and probed at my face, but he couldn't do anything for it. It seemed that the rocking chair pressed down on my young bones and have crushed them into a soft pulp. The next day I couldn't open my mouth. When I felt my face, there wasn't any bone left on the left side at all. My mouth kept pulling over to the right side, and I couldn't chew anything, only drink milk. The mistress must have felt some regret, because she had the doctor come regularly and work on my mouth. Eventually, he got it so he could open it and move my lips, but my mouth kept pulling to the right, and he couldn't stop that. After a while, it stayed just where it is now. I never grew any more teeth on that side. I've never been able to chew properly since then. I don't even remember what it's like to chew. I've lived on liquids, stews, and soup ever since that day, and that was 86 years ago. Here, put your hands on my face, right here on this left cheek. That's what slavery was like. It left me looking as though I had a false face all my life. Children laugh at me. The babies cry when they see me. Of course, I don't mind it anymore. I've been this way so long that I hardly ever think about it, except when I catch someone staring, wondering what devil made me born this way. And it was the devil who did it, a she-devil who's burning and twisting in hell. She never bothered me much after that. Maybe it was because the master raised such an uproar over what she had done. She never beat me again. Sometimes I'd see her looking at me while I was dusting or sweeping. She never said anything, just sat there watching me without realizing I knew. I suppose she grew tired of having me around. When I was about 13 years old, she and master gave me to a master's cousin. They were kind to me. All I had to do was look after the children. I was still with them when freedom came, and they let me stay just as before, except they paid me each month. I stayed with them until I got married. Soon after I got married, I haven't heard if the old mistress had died. She didn't shed any tears. So, this is an actual written account from someone who lived through slavery. Is it fair to say that slavery was not good? The motherfucker hung up. The bitch hung up.
He was a racist piece of shit. Yeah, he was a racist piece of shit.
Oh, here we go. You're on the line, First Amender.
Hey, sorry, I got disconnected there. I fell asleep for a minute. This is Arries Vandam. How you doing?
So that was a written account, but what was the last part that you heard?
Something about our mouth not working anymore, but you don't have to read it all again. It was put me to sleep once, so do it again. That was all irrelevant. That's what I was trying to tell you before you started all that. That's irrelevant. Like, it's still better than being dead, right?
You're a fucking psycho, dude. Have a good day.
It's still better than
Never
being
call
dead,
again.
right?
Enjoy the block.
It's better than...
All right.
I mean, this is the thing. The moment a guy comes in and says slavery was good for the black people, yeah, he's a piece of shit, racist, white supremacist. Because they're thinking,
fucking disgusting human being.
We need to educate the wild
What a clown.
Black man. Yeah, fuck him.
Anyway, we are taking calls. Phone number is 202. Let's see. Centra said, to be fair, that did drag on. Well, I think it's a very good story. I think it illustrates just really what it means to have slavery. And when people are sitting there applying apologetics to it, and the torture of this poor girl who at this point was in her 80s when she was interviewed, I wonder how many stories were not told. Like, how bad was
even
it?
More horrific.
Exactly. She was able to survive. Let's see. Calcraps
like
has
his
just dropped
whole,
in and
his
missed
whole
it.
thing is just...
Sounds like I missed an asshole. Yeah.
You did, brother. That's for sure. I mean, and all this thing is like, weren't they doing a good thing by buying the slave when they were at the slave market? First of all, why the fuck were they at the slave market? That's a weird thing. It's like, they're the slave market, but they don't want to have slaves. Of course they want to have slaves. Also, like, the most moral thing would be to just buy the slave, free the slave, and then put the slaver in prison.
Is a
so
bona fide...
the slaver doesn't get...
Yeah, they're saying, Josine is saying that collar is a bona fide waste of breathable oxygen. I couldn't agree with you more. What a waste of time.
That is true.
Spending all that time trying to explain it and why it's insane. Bonkers. Absolutely crazy. That by the way,
there's a
is
lot of them, man.
It's called it's Henrietta King story. It's a known individual slave's account of what happened. Pretty rare, actually, like in terms of like history is concerned. It's a very rare. And so when I hear somebody making an argument, trying to justify slavery, I do think of that story and the woman with the destroyed face. It's very sad that did happen, but it did happen. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Are there any photos of Henrietta King?
Maybe there are.
I don't think so. Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe it was just like, they didn't have like a...
I mean, she would have had a misshapen face. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. Candor says, atheism is just the idea and how you feel emotionally is true in all reality. That all propositions of a way of thinking stems from that grounding assumption. I think I can actually logically argue against you here. I think you're actually wrong here. But I recommend that you call in and then we can have the discussion. But you got to call in though. If you don't call in, then we can't have the discussion. Josian is accurately saying atheism is just a logical conclusion that there is no sky daddy. So stop making shit up, Candor. Completely agree. Call in if you disagree. Phone number 202-998-5218. What should we look at? Is there? Oh, wasn't there that like, don't I have like a portion on my channel that talks about, let me see here. Let me pull up my playlists. Yeah, there's a guy that I was like gonna have a discussion with.
Ooh.
And then I decided against it because the guys was arguing in favor of Epstein. I don't know. I feel like I was like, Jesus, dude.
What's wrong with these people? Holy shit. Oh my God.
I feel like they just do it for clicks. Like they're not even like in reality anymore. Jesus is my savior. Trump is my president. You do not deserve to have a poster that cool. Do you see the Van Gogh?
Well, that is, yeah, I saw.
Poster?
I see.
You can't have a poster that cool. You're way too much of an asshole.
It's a Van Gogh Dragon Ball Z.
Van Gogh Dragon Ball Z. It's very cool. All right, let's see.
Deal?
It is.
Ghislaine trying to drop some names. Ghislaine.
Actually, I don't even want to. I don't want to watch just like a live stream. I don't know. We gotta. If you guys have some videos that you want me to review, I'll take a look at them. Let me see what I can find. We got to find something. What are we going to find? Let me look. Let's see. First Amender, did you see that video from Dean Stream where someone was justifying a 5-year-old being pregnant? Jesus fuck. That's awful.
Isn't that Epstein still? It's like what?
Let me look.
Actually, it's not pedophilia, right? I mean, that's the whole thing.
Maybe I can look at another video for reviewing for YouTube. I think like that video though, the review under my review for YouTube, I don't know if I want to just do like a guy's live stream. I got to pull up my full list, I guess. Let me see here. Oh no, we've gone over these. No. Let's take a look here. We warned you, Christian nationalists want to eliminate the gay community. Yes, let's take a look at that.
Those of us who are queer have been calling this out for years, saying like, you do not understand how extreme this is and where this is going. And the number of times I had been told I was overreacting, the number of times I've been told it's not that bad.
Cowcrapper has posted something. Cowcrapper has posted something. Evolution on trial? Are we gonna do a? Let's do. I'll do this video and then we'll do some of that.
Remember that. So I just want to be like, remember this started with, this is the man who's in a pastoral role to the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, I think I know
I'm
what he's talking
reluctant
about.
to give the government excess powers of invading private homes.
Okay, so that is. I just want to be very clear. Doug is lying. Okay, Stephen Wolfe, who Doug Wilson's publishing arm published, The Case for Christian Nationalism, is very clear that he wants blasphemy laws on the books in a Christian nation. The atheist is thrown in prison. That's Stephen Wolfe's language on a podcast that we have clipped. You've seen it before, Billy. Trust me, this man will have no problem invading the privacy of non-Christians, frankly, of infidels in his mind, because Christians like him deserve a special privilege in a Christian society, while people who dare threaten the order.
Who is the guy on the right? What's his name? What is his name?
So the what's in that Pete Hegseth has like a pastor, right? And I don't know if it's this guy. I remember seeing like another guy who, by the way, was also saying that slavery is not immoral and is actually good. It's actually moral. But all these people in government have like these pastors who are just like insane people with like crazy ideas. It's like I listened to a few of these excerpts from them, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like how. It's like people listen to this and actually say, yeah, that's cool. I mean, a guy telling you that slavery is fine, you're just agreeing with them. I mean, you have to be like fucked in the head to do that.
Agreed.
Right, deserve to be extra scrutinized. And when it comes to homosexuality, and again, Billy, you can really talk about this better than I can. Queerness threatens the hierarchy of Christian nationalism and the heteronormativity of it, right? Of the one man, one woman with babies trope, which is why Doug is so focused on this.
Very true.
It's Doug Wilson. That's his name.
Doug
the
Wilson.
Guy on the right.
Let's see here. What?
It's the guy on the right.
Does
Doug Wilson.
Doug Wilson believe? What is with so many assholes having the last name Wilson?
True.
What's
must be something there.
It's a coincidence. Controversial Reformed evangelical pastor, author known for Christian nationalism, strict biblical patriarchy, and a federal vision theology. Opinions on his platform communicated styles are mixed, with critics calling fundamentalist dangerous and supporters praising his cultural engagement and education efforts. Oh boy. He believes the United States should be a Christian theocracy where public laws, life, and leaders align with biblical law, arguing non-Christians should face restrictions on holding public office. Wow. Wow, this is terrible. He supports replacing individual voting with household voting, where typically only the male head household casts a vote, and stated a presence of eventual repeal of the 19th Amendment. Okay, so women don't get to vote. He strongly opposes abortion, same-sex marriage, and no-fault divorce, and he calls for a restoration of sodomy laws. Wow. Okay, so like an actual fucking unironic demon, a demon of modern life. Let's see. A pastor at Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho. Let's be clear, it's in Idaho.
Yeah.
The theology. Why is it called Moscow? Y'all got to change that town name. The theology incorporates elements of the federal vision movement, emphasizing conventionalism and traditional reform conventions while drawing criticism from mainstream conservative denominations regarding this guy is literally the bad guy in that one. What was it? Far Cry 6? No, Far Cry 5. Yeah, he's literally the bad guy in Far Cry 5. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Have you played Far Cry 5?
No. Oh, I haven't. No, I haven't.
You haven't played this? Yeah, the main villain is literally like a Christo-fascist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's wild. I'm like, this guy is literally that, but without guns. All right. All right, so that's what this guy's about. So let's see.
I did preview some of this stuff, and he is going to get into why he doesn't like trans people a bit later on.
Lovely.
And he tips his hand a little bit more, and it's just that like his whole order for his Christian nation is so hierarchical, and the categories are all so firm that anybody who is a boundary crosser, and that's be crossing the boundaries that he wants to set up, is a threat to that, right? So this is where the anti-feminist position, right, the misogynist, the patriarchal position, and the anti-queer position are just completely bound up and intertwined with each other.
Yes.
Right. And again, this is all rooted in his belief that a righteous nation cannot have any of them. In fact, right. So what we're looking for, this is why I really like the line of questioning that he's being taken on right now in terms of what is the punishment? Because I think bound up in what is the punishment is this question of like, what are you trying to achieve with this? Right. Like, what are you trying to do?
Let's see. At least just God based. They make all politics an executive branch swear an oath. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the Bible though. It just can be on whatever the fuck you believe in. Or just be an I swear move, which a lot of people do.
It can be on a bowl of Cheetos if you want.
It can be on a bowl of Cheetos. Yeah, that'd be wild. You know how many times I said you need to play Far Cry because you'd love shooting all those white Christian nationalists in the woods, First Amender? I mean, I didn't honestly like Far Cry 5. I didn't like it as much as Far Cry 4 or 3. I liked Far Cry 4. I liked that one. I think I got to replay that one. But honestly, like probably my favorite Far Cry was Far Cry 2. And that is a very unpopular opinion. Most people would say, why the fuck do you like Far Cry 2? I just like the mechanics. I thought it had a cool mechanic system, but I could see why people don't like Far Cry 2. I get it. There's full understanding why Far Cry 2 is not popular. It's just, it's kind of cool. Anyway.
And by the way, Amanda, I sent you like a video. So I need to explain a thing. So like Pete Hexet has this guy on the right, Doug Wilson.
Yeah.
And he has like another pastor who's like closer to him. His name is Brooks Pottager. Yeah. And that guy, Brooks Pottager, is really good friends with like another pastor called Joshua Hames.
Yeah.
And that guy, Joshua Hames, is like, you should listen to the thing that I sent you, right? Just it's
bad, huh?
He has like this podcast. Yeah, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
They're just crazy people. Like all of them.
Centrist is saying Far Cry 2 was definitely fun. It is a good, it had good mechanics. But to be honest, Far Cry 2 is designed to be a tech demo. That's what it was. It wasn't actually designed as a game. And as a result, it can feel a little repetitive but there are some really cool systems. But anyway, whatever, it's fine.
The effective punishment has to be one that brings his ideal nation closer to his vision for it, his idea of what it ought to be. And
that's exactly right. I mean, that's why he said that they go back in the closet. He wants a shame culture where being queer is frowned upon, and then of course the government enforces laws when they find violators of those laws.
Makes it illegal.
100%. And this is what I liked about pushing back on that question when he kept pushing on that question, right? When he said, "Yeah, but you do want laws, right?" Like he kind of because Doug wants to do that retreat where he's like, "Well, mostly I don't think we need to worry about the enforcement because what I want is a culture where it's so shameful that people wouldn't be out anyway."
Yes.
And of course, that's what he is hoping to achieve.
Already happening in the state of Florida. People are often afraid to come out as themselves in the state of Florida because of how antagonistic it is towards trans people.
Achieve through these laws, right? Like, I think if you push him, he would have to admit that, like, in order to get to that shamey culture, you would have to have a period of incredibly strict and painful and cruel crackdown where really harsh laws and punishments are implemented.
Right, and don't forget, folks, these are the people who will tell you that the real threat are radical Muslims who want to do these kinds of things. Now, obviously, our Muslim neighbors are amazing humans. We know so many of them, and like in any religious tradition, you can find extremist versions, of course. But it's just so funny that we are looking at essentially the ISIS version of Christianity right here in America, arguing for things that they claim the radical Muslims want to do. Right? I mean, here we are with a Christian saying, "I want blasphemy laws on the books. I want gay people to be punished. I want it to be criminalized," right? This is the stuff. I want women to lose the right to vote. All these things, they are
Absolutely
actually
awful.
confessing as
This
they
is the
accuse
stuff that
other
I've been
people
saying
of wanting these
over
things.
and over.
It's insane. Again, friends, thanks for being here. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. It means so much. I go live every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern, give or take. And if you want to become a member,
I go live every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're not subscribed, do subscribe. I love you. Mwah. I'll give you a kiss. Or if you subscribe, I won't give you a kiss. Which
Threaten
one?
them to subscribe.
Become a member or whatever. Appreciate y'all.
member of the channel, link in the description. My goal is to get to 100 members. That would be an amazing goal. It would be so helpful to help me out make this channel and this work possible. Thank you so much.
Theoretically, I get caught having sex with my boyfriend. What happens to me?
Great question.
What is the punishment?
Yep.
In the 1980s, it was a movement called Christian Reconstruction.
Oh boy.
And
there he goes.
The Christian Reconstruction.
Damn, Billy, it's like we know our shit. It's like we know
Is
what
he gonna-
the hell
is he
we're
gonna
talking
argue it?
about. You know, it's like we know it.
Hey, yo, Rainbow Ash
Did
just
I just
did
get
a
a membership?
member
Wow.
for 3 months, level Soy Boy supporter. You absolutely love the Soy Boy. Thank you very much.
To take the Old Testament law, sort of with a grappling hook, and bring it over and drop it down on modern society. And that would mean the maximum penalty there for homosexual behavior would be execution. And so there were debates among the Reconstructionists,
Which Doug is one.
We have to stone the homosexuals. And there were some people saying, well,
There were hold on. There were arguments in the 1980s, Daniel, on whether or not, what do we do, guys?
Did I just get a
Do we-
membership? Wow.
Do we put them in jail or do we stone the homosexual? Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, are we in like the most extremist version of Islam on planet? Like, what? That's wild. That is wild.
well, firing squads are okay because they're throwing very
I just
tiny
get a
stones
membership?
at a high rate of,
Wow.
Thank you
at
for
a
the
high rate of
membership,
speed.
guys.
But they were talking
Appreciate
about
you.
execution.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah, let's pause.
So
All right, hold on. So you just went from stoning and guns. Like, hey, listen, we don't have to stone them. Firing squad is fine. What do you think of this, Daniel? I think Daniel has left the building, y'all. Anyway,
No, sorry, my mic was muted. Holy shit,
Oh.
I was talking to you. Didn't even notice my mic was muted. No, it's like this is just do you want this? I mean, it's like they want the
Christians-
old biblical laws, and you heard him, right? He said all biblical laws.
Yeah.
That also means slavery, by the way, Amanda.
Christians were telling me.
That means slavery back.
Come on, First Amender. The Christians don't want to kill you. Meanwhile, this guy
they're
right
just
here
exaggerating.
is literally arguing that, hey, listen, stoning's a little barbaric. You know, firing squad is fine. Right here on YouTube.
Yeah, one, I have to wave my little like Cassandra flag of like, we have been like, those of us who are queer have been calling, and especially Christian and grew up in Christians, have been calling this out for years, saying like, you do not understand how extreme this is and where this is going. And the number of times I had been told I was overreacting, the number of times I've been told
True.
like, it's
True.
not that bad, he's fringe, he's a kook.
Christian
Remember that-
Sharia
so I just
law.
wanna be like, remember this started with, this is the man who is who's in a pastoral role to the Secretary of Defense.
Thank
right?
you.
Like, this is a man
True.
who's in a pastoral role to Secretary of Defense. Just think about how much control, even if we just limit it and assume that, like,
Rainbow Ash just said gay stuff is hot. True. Let's be honest, and even straight men like gay stuff too. Lesbians, huh? What do you think,
that is
Daniel? Lesbians.
I always said this, right? Like every homophobe,
Even straight men
probably
like
just
gay
enjoys
stuff.
the shit out of like some like lesbian
true.
gay porn.
It's true.
So,
True. Gay stuff is hot. What do you want?
the wall between civilian control of military and military control of the populace holds up, that the wall between that stays. Think about how much power that means.
Let's see. And it is because people like Doug Wilson that I recommend lefties to embrace the Second Amendment. True. true. This is why I'm actually not anti-Second Amendment. I am in favor of, however, gun control, but that doesn't mean Second Amendment revoked, right? I just think, you know, the well-regulated militia, you know?
That this man's parishioner has over queer people in the military right now.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you are a member of the military and you know that the Secretary of Defense's pastor is telling him that, like, hey, you know what? There's like a little bit of debate, and the soft position in the debate on what you should do if you catch two men having sex, the soft position is that you can use a firing squad instead of having to use old school rocks.
Thank you. Because
how do those people?
It's a little rock. It's technically a little rock.
Right. It's a little rock. So like you can be merciful,
right,
and use a firing squad instead of stones.
Shit.
Was the debate in the 80s, right? Like
what just happened?
Yes. No, I'm glad we're here because we
I don't know.
have to. One thing about Christian
hold on.
fascism and
Sorry.
its propaganda is that it wants to make you numb and accept terms that should be unacceptable. The fact that Doug with a straight face is out largely even condemning these conversations. By the way, he was in the middle of.
So sorry, guys.
And so was, by the way, Christianity Today. They platformed R.J. Rushdoony back in the 60s and 70s. R.J. Rushdoony had a place in white evangelicalism. They were discussing: do we stone the gay person to death, or can we use a firing squad because technically it's a small stone?
That's wild.
If we're
that is
having
a wild thing
we
to
are
say.
So far down Schitt's Creek, and that was in the 60s and 70s, and now we have the evolution.
No,
so
here's
going to happen? I'm
80s.
going to call this right
Wait,
now.
they weren't even saying in the 60s or 70s. They were saying he said this was in the 80s.
Doug Wilson is going to try and position himself as a moderate. I don't believe in executing you, journalists, if you were found with your partner and having sex. See, I'm the moderate here. No, they're all freaking extremists. All of them are extremists.
True.
All of them. They are radical extremists, and not wanting to kill a gay person, but instead punish them or criminalize them or
Merck
shame
says,
them.
Isn't lesbian porn kind of boring? Yes, I agree.
Is it though? I don't know if it is that boring.
You know,
maybe some of it.
Not
all of it though.
I mean, you could just go, you could go the fun route. There are fun routes. There are fun routes. All right. Anyway.
Oh, well.
Or put them back in the closet or in prison is not somehow a better option. Period. Just not. Just not. Plus, I do believe, by the way, deep down, Doug has no problem allowing a Christian nation to put gay people to death for engaging in same-sex sex. I think he will eventually tip his hand to that for sure in this conversation.
In that debate back then, I pointed out that King Asa and King Jehoshaphat in the Old Testament closed the bathhouses and they exiled the Sodomites from the land, and their behavior is praised in the text. So that told me that execution, although a lawful penalty for homosexual behavior, was not the minimum penalty, it was the maximum penalty.
Okay, see what Doug is doing here? It's insane. Go ahead, Billy.
I don't even understand this. He's arguing on execute, like his question was, what if you find a gay couple together in their bathroom? And this dude is like, hey, execute them.
Yep.
And mind you, apparently this is the pastor for Pete Hegseth. Bro, what? That's wild.
Yeah,
No.
You
You're
have
right.
the floor.
Your point. Make your point first, because I know the point you're making. Make that first, and then I'm going to talk about this dangerous reference.
Yeah, my only point is just what I said. You know, like here's like trying to say, guys, I was the liberal. I was the one saying, hey, we don't have to kill the gay person. We can, but look, there's other in the Bible. By the way, the bathhouses are not about gay men having sex. He's interpreting that, right? He's like,
there's no bathhouses.
Okay, good.
They're not bathhouses.
You break that down for me. Go ahead. You take it over. I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
No, so like first off, you're absolutely right? Like he's doing this, and again, notice the whole playing.
You know what I want society to be like? You know what I want the sex to be like for people? Daniel?
What?
You ever see that one scene in 300? That giant Persian orgy scene where there was like a goat-headed dude? There you go.
Okay. Oh,
and they were like smoking and drinking, and there was like 100 people just fucking.
I bet it was pretty fucking fun. You know? I mean,
That would have been awesome. That sounds like a great time.
To two audiences here, where
safely, please do it safely.
He's
with consent,
assuring all
with consent, very important, very important. Make sure the eunuch says yes.
All of his like crazy reform.
always make sure your eunuch
always
says
make
yes.
sure your eunuch says yes.
People that like, you know, his other CREC people, he's like, look, I'm not taking the death penalty off the menu here, right?
Exactly.
And he's still trying to soften the blow and position himself. He's like, look, when they were talking about execution, I'm the one who came in and said, look, exile is also biblically legitimate. So we are allowed to be merciful by only doing exile. Just for the record, Tim, just so we can plant the flag here, exiling all queer people as a punishment for doing the things queer people do is a form of genocide and ethnic cleansing.
Wild.
So, like,
yes,
he's
it's also
still,
fucking
he's
wild.
Not dodging the genocide
That's
and ethnic
fucking
cleansing
wild.
accusation here. This is still removing a population based on a natural characteristic of that population and saying they have to be out of this country, because that is what disgust does. We know we're going to come back to disgust, but like that is what disgust does, right? At its core, what is driving his people, and the reason that they will be at least tolerant of his relatively liberal only exile them position,
right,
is because it gets them out.
Right.
Genocides often start with get them out as the middle moderate position, and only when it turns out that doesn't tend to work very well because people don't want to leave, they turn and do the much, do the actually kill them, and usually they do a keep them here and kill them sort of pivot on that one. So this is just Doug giving us genocidal rhetoric. That's all that one is.
No, it's really well
but
said.
about this
It's
like
really well said.
bathhouses thing, the Asa and Jehoshaphat, I have to look that one up. Like I have studied.
Break this down for me.
queer
It blows my
apologetics and,
mind.
like,
Theologian here, not me.
I've been in this conversation for years. I was like, what is he even talking about?
Help me.
And his language matters, and he is equivocating here, right?
Let's see. Merck says, I'm sorry, Amender. This is fringe beliefs. Most Americans do not feel this way. I know you're going to tell that I'm downplaying, but I'm the most regular people do not want gay men executed. Well, that's great. But it turns out that the guy that was just talking about executing gay people also happens to be the pastor for Pete Hegseth. Like, does anybody remember when like there were extremist things of that pastor being said with Obama? Why are we applying kid gloves here? Seriously, genuine question. Why are we applying kid gloves? That's freaking wild.
Like any biblical scholar would be like, even like his conservative biblical scholars would be like, you're kind of cheating on this one, because notice that he's like,
let's see. Oh, did Pamela make a good point? I guess so. Also, Pamela doesn't believe trans people exist.
Return to his words, sodomites. And I was like, I have had the 6 clobber passages thrown at me for years, for over a decade now, right? Like for years and years and years, I've been dealing with the clobber passages. And those are passages in Kings, First Kings, and then there's one in Second Kings. I think 2 in First Kings and 1 in Second Kings that aren't in the clobber passages. It's not in the list. That's not the stock stuff that queer people get thrown at us. So like, what's he doing here? It's a reference to, I think the word is kadeshim. It's like, and the more popular translation is just sort of temple prostitutes or cult prostitutes or shrine prostitutes, right? And there's not really any indication of an association with homosexuality at all.
Let's see. Do pastors really control politicians in the reason why a politician would push a policy? Given the fact, maybe, and that's the problem. And also the fact that that's the Secretary of Defense. That's the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that like
Pamela
a crazy
said, because
thing?
you said lesbian sex is boring, you must like violent sex, and then accused of liking violence. Oh, no, you didn't see what I flashed. You didn't see what I flashed. Y'all didn't see it. Oh my God. Cringe.
Yeah, I don't think she got it at all. But it is Pamela.
They didn't get it. Yeah, they're not good at understanding. Hold on. Let me. I've just listen. All right, you could go. This is fun. It's a weird picture. I'm just saying, right? It doesn't have to be so boring. You could make it fun. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. We're gonna continue.
It would have been male shrine prostitutes or just male shrine holy ones. Like there are a lot of scholars now that are just like, these are probably just references to people who served at some kind of role in a pagan temple. Right. So if you were in a temple and you like lived there and you kind of worked there and you were like dedicated to that god in some way, that may have included cult prostitutes. It may not have, but that got translated as sodomites in the KJV.
Of course it did.
And pretty much only the KJV. Even the
That's just
NKJV
wild.
backs
That's
off
wild.
of that translation and goes to like
Oh,
perverts
and
or,
these guys are
or
KJV
temple
only
prostitutes or something like
most
that,
of the time.
right? Like you have to be that level of like Doug Wilson KJV only pilled in order to like make
All right.
that even.
Let's take a look at Cow Crapper's video.
All right,
here.
guys, welcome back to Modern Day
This is
Debate.
a full modern day debate. Let's see here. We're gonna take a look at Chaos's real quick. Give me one second.
Look at mine. Look at the thing that I sent you. Just like
You
the
gotta
first
post it.
minute
You gotta
or so.
post it not in our DMs. You gotta post it in the. In the
I
video
just gave it to you
suggestion.
in the
It's fine,
DMs.
but yeah, we'll look at it.
Yeah.
You believe that slavery is wrong?
Yes, of course.
Do you agree with John
You
MacArthur's
need to move
statements when he
forward.
says that slavery
Don't
can
look
be
at all
great if
this
you have the
thing.
right master?
What?
Because I
This
gave
is
it to you. I
surrounded.
think
I'm
I
gonna
gave
get-
it
I'm
to you
gonna
with
get
the
copyright
time,
stricken.
with the times.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
copyright
no,
stricken.
that's from his channel.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, okay. I need to start at. Okay, I give you another one with start at. It starts only with him. No
let's see here.
surrounded bullshit. It's the same thing.
The
just
Daily
like
Dose, where I,
44
Joshua Hames, bring you Christian conservative cultural commentary, and we apply the Word of God to the world around us today.
Craig.
Guys, I've got a
This is
spicy
the
one.
face
Got a spicy
of
one for you.
evil, by the way.
Prepare.
When you
Buckle
look
up.
at this
Here we
guy.
go.
Good
The
God.
institution of slavery is not inherently evil.
There you go. It's like. So just so you don't think I just made it up, right? So you don't think I just made it up. Like this guy like says it like straight up.
Are they
the
just-
institution of slavery
Listen.
is not inherently evil.
Can I just be honest? They're LARPing, right? Like they're LARPing. They're LARPing.
No, I don't
They don't
think so.
actually.
I
they
think-
don't
I
actually
think we need
believe
to take them
something that's
seriously.
stupid, right?
No. I think they do believe it because
Because
they're
if
white
they do
supremacists
believe
and
that,
they're-
what I want them to do is scream that from the high heavens in time for elections.
They're
I
literally
want
doing
them
it.
to say that. I want every single one of these candidates be like, I want slavery. Let's put slavery back. I want to see it.
I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years.
I've been man, like all these man, all my fans. I've been saying it for years. Are you kidding me? We just got over like a woman that got her jaw destroyed because she stole a candy.
Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being.
You're a psycho.
I know. Just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this because
All right,
it
let's
is
talk
very
through it, yeah.
important that every
Sure.
Christian affirm what I just said. And
we
not
don't
only
really
should they affirm it,
need to
every
go too
Christian
far
in
forward.
today's society should be able to defend what I just said. Okay?
Yeah.
Every Christian should
Uh-huh.
be able to defend
Okay.
it.
By the way,
Eva,
keep it.
big
Remember what
evangelicals
that guy
have
please
said.
go
been
That
ahead.
it's
this
not the
wrong
Christians
for
that
years.
said this.
Basically, since the
Apparently,
Genesis,
it's modern Christians
since
too.
the
You
advent
don't
of
need to
Big
go
Eva,
back
they
in
haven't had a
time.
good answer for the slavery issue. All right, Christians in America have been led astray on this topic. They've been led to believe things that the
boy.
Bible doesn't teach. And when we go beyond the
Bi-
Bible,
By
The-
the
yeah,
way,
it
this
does-
is
it-
this
the
is an
Bible does
American
show
Protestant.
this. What?
Remember when he said that the American Protestants that were like the true Christians? This guy is a Protestant from America. This
Candor
is the guy.
Spot
You know,
says,
your
we
caller was
need
talking
Christians to stand by the word. Something isn't immoral because it's unpleasant. Slavery is immoral. It causes a lot of needless death and destruction. And, well, because the very virtue of treating people as property allows you to kind of destroy it, break things through property. This is way too extreme. If you're finding yourself aligned with this, unsubscribe, stop watching my channel. I'm not for you. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to reach you if you literally believe that slavery is okay.
There are dire consequences, right? There are dire consequences for believing that we are nicer than God, that we are kinder than God, that we are more merciful than God, more holy than God.
Slavery can be immoral. No, it's just immoral. It's not like sometimes it's moral, sometimes it's immoral. No, it's just immoral. We shouldn't have slavery. In fact, I would even argue in the prison system where we make prisoners work, and this is a legal form of slavery, I would also consider to be immoral. So I would take an even more extreme position than most.
None of that is true. We must stick to the revealed word of God. And a quick note before we jump in, I thought Allie Beth Stuckey did a good job in this debate. Being surrounded by all these folks, that's hard to do. That's hard to do, to debate 20 people like in one sitting, all right? So she did well, but on this issue of slavery, on the topic of slavery, I think that she set herself up for failure with her answers that we're about to see in this clip.
Yeah,
okay,
when you
and now
start
before we
defending
jump into the
slavery,
debate,
I would say
I
you
just wanna
do set
clarify,
yourself up
just so
for
it's just
failure.
crystal
what he's
clear.
saying
I am
is
not
that
saying
she wasn't
that slavery
defending
was
slavery.
All right, hold on. What is it?
That's where he went wrong.
Hold
So
on,
he's saying that she went wrong by not defending slavery.
Oh,
That's
Jesus
where
Christ.
he says that
Jesus.
she went wrong.
Holy crap.
So it's just crystal clear. I am not saying that slavery was a positive good for society. I am not saying that we should bring it back. I am very happy that white Christians abolished slavery in the West and
But why would
basically
he?
across the entire world, or
It's
most
not
of it.
immoral.
All right,
It's
I'm
not a
very
problem,
happy about that.
Let's see.
I want to make
But-
my thesis very clear for this episode, and it's very simple.
Go ahead, give me
The
your
Bible
butt.
does not teach that the institution of slavery is inherently sinful. Therefore, Christians must not say that the institution of slavery is inherently sinful.
Please,
That's it. That's my
please
thesis for the
scream this from the high heavens. Let everybody know that this is how you feel. So that way people can get way the fuck away from Christianity as much as they can. Holy crap.
episode. And if you're wondering, why even bring this up? Why ruffle the feathers? Why talk about this hot topic?
True.
Well, if you don't already know, then the answer to that question should become abundantly clear by the end of the episode. So let's jump into this debate between Allie Beth Stuckey and Tim Whitaker of the New Evangelicals.
I don't think you need
who
to,
used
because
be
now
my
it's all
arch nemesis on X
Jubilee
before
and
he
surrounded.
blocked me, which was sad. I enjoyed.
You're probably
interacting with
gonna
him.
have
So
to.
we'll get
pause
into
it.
that, and then we'll pass the
What?
mic over to Pastor
What is
Douglas
it?
Will.
You're gonna have to pause it because now he's doing kind of like a review of the surrounded bit. So
Oh, yeah?
just don't. Yeah, I mean, we're past the part where he makes his position very clear.
That's wild. Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can find here.
He is.
You muted yourself, by the way. Oh. Hello?
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 You all right? Something happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Something happened? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that this guy is theologically he's correct, because
Yes.
in the Bible it doesn't say that slavery is an immoral institution. It says quite the opposite.
Which is telling me to pull up YouTube movies and watch The Adventures of a Panda Warrior. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get copyright struck for that.
If it's on YouTube, probably not. They must be in the public
Chaos says, let's see
market
here.
or whatever.
I think that communism can be used for the good of society. We don't want people to have meth or fentanyl, so why not socialize the drug industry so that the government seizes drugs from drug dealers and distribute it to users to force shortages and to basically force drug famine.
That is a very interesting idea. We nationalize the meth industry, and it will be so poorly run, no one will get their meth on time. There'll be like TSA waiting lines to get your meth. They'll be like super bankrupt. They'll like take every possible federal holiday off, and people will stop doing meth because the delivery mechanism and the production, they'll be like 10 years delayed in making meth, and people will just give it up.
I think that users would be more than willing to turn in their dealers, and once dealers realize that they can't sell drugs because they'll be seized and distributed, that's sort of the end of the drug market.
That's actually kind of smart.
I don't know. Seems kind of dumb, but
yeah, it
okay.
seems really dumb, actually.
Yes. But it's like, I'm not surprised Charlie Kirk thought he was smart. Yeah.
Seems kind of smart. I'm like, no, that wasn't smart at all.
No, it's kind of like the opposite.
That wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't even remotely intelligent.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find some videos. By the way, we are still taking calls. You can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. We still got some time for one long one or two short ones. If somebody wants to call in, let me see what I can find. Do you know that song?
Or I know that song. Who doesn't know that song? It's like, come on. That's a banger of a song, by the way.
I'd play it, but
I don't even know. I don't know. Is that a copyright thing?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, I'm going to get fucking... Yeah, I'd get copyright stricken instantly. Dude, you play a song for like a second, it copyright strikes you. It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the American Religious Psychosis Crisis. Since we're talking about it, we might as well.
Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
Oh.
Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa tata rite eke.
This bitch was the spiritual advisor to Trump. She still is.
Can I just to be clear, right? Are you guys in agreement that speaking in tongues is fucking crazy? Please tell me you guys know that speaking in tongues is actually fucking crazy. Please, you all agree, right? Please. Speaking in tongues is insane. Please. You all,
pagan.
W in chat, if you think that speaking in tongues is completely insane. I just, please, for goodness
It's the most
sakes.
normal thing on this planet, speaking in tongues. And handling live venomous snakes.
AWOL says, so please tell us the flaws and tell us why it's not smart. Yeah, because it subsidizes the drug industry. And so it would emphasize people to take drugs. In fact, you have instances where you have government injection sites. And the idea is it's a noble idea in the sense that it will, it at least provides a clean injection site, but it doesn't actually address the problem. The problem is that there's too many people on drugs, and you want to get people off of drugs, not enable their usage. Anyway.
For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now.
Africa right now.
Africa right now.
Africa
All
right
I'm
now.
going to say is religion is in an extremely odd place right now.
It is.
Hear us, please, Donald Trump. Please save me.
You are not praying to Donald Trump, bro.
These guys are praying to Donald Trump.
You are not praying to Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Please save me, Donald Trump. Please. I'm asking you. Please save me. Please save me. Please get these people away from me.
I want the same space.
Please stop these.
I want the same space.
Save me from Joe Biden.
Give me the same space, please.
I need to save Trump's
snowflake.
space.
You saw and heard that, right? This man is literally praying, invoking Donald Trump for a traffic stop. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that has to be blasphemous, right? Like, he's got to be breaking the commandments.
Yeah, that's blasphemy.
And it gets worse.
Sure.
I mean, it's like these people would literally be burned at the stake, right?
Do you remember that
for blasphemy?
Do you remember what was it? The lady that tried to redraw Christ's face? Woman who repainted
Isn't it this one?
Christ's
She's painting
face.
something,
No,
right?
no, no. I just, there was this woman. Yeah. So there was this woman that looked at a picture of Jesus Christ, and it was basically damaged. And so she was
I know
like,
that one.
she went
She was commissioned. No, she was commissioned to.
She wasn't commissioned. No, I thought she like vandalized
She wasn't?
it. No, she's vandalizing.
No. Okay, so the original one was the one that was commissioned.
Really?
Yeah. Let me find it. That one. No, that was the one. It was commissioned. So literally, she was paid, or like I don't know if she was paid necessarily, but she was. Yeah, yes. Like somebody let her do it. Okay. That one. So she, obviously, it's like after they saw what she did. I mean, dude, it's like I have zero talent. I could probably do a better job.
I could have
seen. You know what I mean?
I could have seen just like she spent hours on this. She was like, "Fuck, it ain't right. How do I?" And she had to have spent forever. Okay. Wow.
That was Christian speed painter Vanessa Horabuena. She's known for blending faith and patriotism by creating live worship art and portraits. And I don't know if you guys are noticing a pattern here, but it seems like religion and politics are starting to really blend.
True.
No, I mean, literally, they're becoming one and the same. I know people are going to make the argument that that's probably always been the case throughout history. For example, like in ancient Egypt, how the pharaoh was the king, but was also worshipped like God.
That's
now,
true.
I don't think we've gotten to that level yet, but with the way people are starting to treat Donald Trump, we're definitely heading in that direction.
Yes.
Because when you hear the way that certain people talk about Donald Trump and act when it pertains to him, it's almost as if they're deifying him.
Mr. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
Why are you crying?
Baby Donnie. For the love of God, help me.
You're actually praying. This is not praying, right?
Help me.
I mean,
help me,
help me, Jesus, Trump.
President of the United States of America. My God, I need your help. Help me. Help me.
Now, part of me does think that that clip is AI, but I mean, as you've seen from the first clip, stuff like this is happening. And this American religious fever dream only keeps on getting worse.
So for those that are not aware, and I'd hate to teach Christianity to, the fact that I'm not a Christian, that I am actually an atheist, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. And I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods, but it's literally the first commandment. It's the first commandment. What?
Like, Trump is Jesus and God. It's not the Holy Trinity anymore.
It's the quadrilogy.
It's the quadrinity.
The quadrinity. Okay? Yeah. The Father is the Son, the Holy Spirit, and Trump. Got it.
And the dipshit. Yes.
And the dipshit.
The Father, the Son, the Spirit,
the Holy,
and the dipshit.
And a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yes.
All right.
Worse. So recently there's been this trend that's been going around on Christian TikTok, Christian Talk, where Christians are recording themselves and showing what they would do if the Bible got banned. And I kid you not, this has to be one of the cringiest trends I've ever seen.
Okay, from this point forward, we are silent.
How I am moving if they make the Bible illegal?
From this point forward, we are silent. Not quiet. Silent.
That is so cringe, bro. What the fuck? What? I am not aware of these TikTok trends. I am not aware of them. I don't go on TikTok.
Do you know how deluded you have to be to do this in a majority Christian country? True. To do this in America? I mean, even in the American court system, when they're swearing in a witness, they literally use the Bible. That's how deeply ingrained Christianity is in the American system. Christians are literally the dominant reigning power. And this trend isn't even stopping there. I'm starting to see more variations of it.
Face the right,
for being a Christian since they plan on banning the Bible. Are these people are actually, meanwhile, they're making actual laws to like disenfranchise trans people, right? Like these are I guarantee you, if the Christians get their way, they will make being trans illegal. It would not surprise me.
Face forward.
Yeah, of course. But they like to make themselves be the victims, right? Like victimhood is a really big part of like their idea
Christianity.
of
Face to
Christianity.
Face forward.
God, this is so cringe, bro. Kill me. Holy cringe, Batman. I'm dying of cringe.
I mean, they haven't been persecuted for like 2,000 years.
We've
so
even
they have
got
to make
people doing
something
full-on
up.
skits of this weird persecution kink. And yes, I'm calling it a kink, bro. This shit is like a fantasy.
true.
Y'all are literally making up imaginary enemies,
True.
imaginary problems, and then attempting to fight against them.
It's 2040 and Bibles are illegal. Bruh.
Does anybody else
Cringe.
find it just a little bit ironic that Christians make these types of videos when they're the ones who were banning books?
They're obviously looking for someone to get back. They want their comment sections to be full of, oh my God, you guys are so valiant. Warriors of Christ. You guys are crusaders fighting the holy war. Like, no, brother, you are extremely privileged. Please stop.
You
Do
are
you know
privileged,
how
true.
unrealistic a situation like this is?
Christian, dude, there's literally a church on every fucking corner. Like across the United States. You're going to tell me that you are like God forbid if there's like a mosque erected in your town, the level of vitriol that mosque gets is insane. Like, dude, you are not going to sit there and tell me that like Christians get prosecuted. You are not telling me that. I don't believe you. You're an actual troglodyte, bro.
Hands up right now.
And you know, like the other guy was saying,
Single muscle, boy.
like they're really pissed at Muslims for wanting Sharia.
Did I stutter?
When
I said put it down.
they would just do what they're doing as Christians.
He's
they
reaching
would
for
do
a
it.
weapon.
We have a heavily armed suspect here that is reaching for a gun.
That's so cringe, bro. So cringe.
Another inch. Sir, I'm warning you. Sir, please, don't.
What up, Rubik?
Don't say it.
Dude. Cringe.
Okay, wait, I take that back. A black man getting shot for moving is pretty realistic. But
That is true. Very true.
That is the only thing that's realistic
Yeah.
in that scenario.
It's not for the Bible though. That's why he got shot. He's getting shot for very different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to shoot him,
still
justifying it with
Brief
the Bible. But
Yeah,
that's different.
Mission, y'all, I got an opportunity for you. If you've ever wished that payday came soon,
okay.
West society, and of course the theme of the Bible being banned.
It looks like that we've got a member, another member. Rubik's just became a member level Soy Boy supporter. Thank you for supporting me, a Soy Boy. That's me. I'm the Soy Boy. It's the Soy Boy who wins. Did I just get a membership? Wow.
Shalom. Oh, hi. Do you have this stuff? Gotta make sure you're cool first. God is good.
Me preparing to become a criminal for being a Christian because they plan on banning the Bible. Bro,
All the time.
dude, literally, just like, seriously, like where? Just tell me where the Bible is
in
getting
their
banned.
dreams.
In their dreams. Got
In
it.
their
Yeah.
dreams.
Like I have,
Yeah.
there is zero indication the Bible's ever getting banned. By the way, and just FYI, in my nightmare atheist utopia where I'm like highly do not like Christianity or any religion for that matter, I still would allow the Bible to exist. In fact, I would encourage people to read their Bible, read the entire
would
thing from
mandate
front to
it.
back,
Yeah,
from front to back,
read it.
read it front to back, right? Great way to actually, that would be fucking excellent. Maybe just like get people to read the Bible front to back. Like you know what? I bet you that I could make Republicans argue for doing that. And when they do
and
that,
and the Quran,
reading
by
it
the
from
way, is like
front to
let's-
back.
Let's not be
No, just do the Bible. Do you know why?
No, but and the Quran. I mean, it's more.
I gotta
like
tell
the
you,
Bible
man, the
for us
road
'cause
to
we are the
atheism,
Christian
road to atheism is paved with red Bibles. It's so true. It's
It is,
100%
it is.
true. And it's like, I think if you wanted to have if you wanted to have more atheists, get more people to read the Bible. Let's see. Robert Lemon says, who's banning the Bible? Starbucks again? Yeah, nobody is banning the Bible. I don't even think Starbucks is banning the Bible. You go in there with the biggest Bible you got. That ain't happening.
All right. What do you want? What do you got? I got crosses. Do you have some word? Word? Yeah. What are you looking for? I got verses, chapters, books. Do you have the whole Bible? I do. Okay, I'll take one. What version? You want standard, NIV, King James? I got it in English, Korean, Japanese, something.
What do they think is happening?
I'll take one King James. King James?
It's so, by the way, FYI, can I just also say it's very weird.
Of course, it was a King James.
It's very weird arguing like in favor of Christianity being Asian. Listen, the history of that it's not pretty for the Christians. I'm just going to tell you, don't look up what the Japanese did to Christians in Japan. Now, if you want a real genocide that was successful, by the way, that one's one of them. There's a real Christian prosecution right there. I've never heard any Christian actually make that argument though.
Right here, fresh off the printer. How much do I owe you? Right.
So you just like pretend it's like drugs? That's all joke?
Yeah, just make sure.
How long does this go for?
I don't owe you anything? Don't worry about it. He paid for it all. What does
He
that
paid
mean?
for it all.
What does that mean?
It means that Jesus
Have you
Christ
not
died for
read
your
the-
sins.
Daily Wire police, put your hands up in the air. We got him. Okay. All right. That was my last
Never
Bible.
gonna
I gave
happen.
them all away, and I ain't never.
But
gonna
it's
tell you
funny how,
nothing.
like, in
Christian
their
size sees
in
up,
their
bees
you
down,
know,
bees in them,
psychotic
bees above, and sees
They're the
them.
Bible
scenario.
dealers.
Last words, criminal.
somehow Jesus
Jesus
pays
loves
for
you.
the Bible.
Fair. That's fair. Why did I
But
say that?
in
And
reality,
just as I was thinking
no
that this couldn't
church
get any
gets
worse,
money from
that
Jesus.
little Christian side sees up, bees down was the nail in the coffin. The cherry on top to make me reach max levels of cringe. And
It
I
is
think
max
another
levels of
super
cringe.
weird thing about this, if the Bible was banned trend, is
No,
the
you know what would be better if they like did like a Matrix move, right? Because he looked like that he was like going to be in the Matrix, and so like if he did like a and then turned.
By the way, it's like I lived in communist Romania, where
Yeah.
it was like it's like an atheist country, whatever the fuck. The Bible was not illegal. It's like, yeah, you could buy. They literally printed Bibles. You know, they were in print by the state. So I don't know what the fuck they're on about.
the route that people chose to take it. Because with the infinite creativity that's out there in the universe, you're telling me you couldn't find any other way to convey your message besides acting
No.
like you're selling your religious holy
Christians
book like
aren't
some
that
sort
creative.
of drug? A religious holy book?
That's not true. This is more of the fucking same meme? Bro, why? All right. I gotta say, this is this is a very cringy video. I'm gonna move on. I'm going to the next. We're gonna see what else we can find. Let me take a look here. Looks like Witch has supplied some stuff here. The Secret History #1: How Power Works. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Good morning, class. Welcome to our first class.
Okay.
And
Please
today,
don't.
What's wrong?
Oh god, dude, this guy. I mean, it's like I know he's become like a star on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
but like a lot of the things he says, they're just like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like yeah. It's like I know like a lot of people have been buying into his things, but it's kind of like it's whatever. It's
Merc is
Professor
asking,
Zhang
I
or
wonder
whatever the
why
fuck
Aminder
is-
did not have an open Discord tonight. I chose not to because it gets kind of chaotic, I guess. And it's like, I could like mute people, but it's kind of a pain to like deal with. Honestly, if anybody wants to debate, they can call in. Phone number is 202-998-5218. Anybody can call in. I just wanted to have like, I don't know, just me and Daniel. If you did still want to have a debate over Discord, then I would recommend to just at me in the Discord, and I can add you, and then we'll add you to the call.
What I want to do is provide the framework for how we will learn the semester.
Okay.
What are we learning?
What are we learning?
How are we learning? Why are we learning?
Okay.
All right.
What are we learning?
This is a class of ideas.
I like classes.
So it's really important for
By the way,
you to
he's
pay
not a
attention.
class.
Oh, he's
I
not
want
a
to
class.
paint you a picture, Amanda.
He's not a class.
He's not in a class, right?
Okay, he's not a class.
teaching anybody. He's on YouTube pretending like he's talking to a class full of people.
Okay.
He's not.
Gotcha,
Okay,
gotcha.
just
All
so
right.
very clear.
Gotcha.
There's no class
And
that
understand-
is teaching.
Yeah.
And how these ideas connect with each other. If I'm not being clear, ask me a question. In fact, make it a habit to ask as many questions as possible, because that way you will learn more, learning will be more fun for you, and learning will be much more clear to you, okay? So let's get in the habit of asking questions. So wherever I am confusing, wherever I'm speaking too fast, wherever you don't understand, interrupt me. Okay? Let's get in the habit.
All right.
So,
I'm ready.
I first want to talk about Immanuel Kant.
Okay, cool. I like Immanuel Kant.
We will be discussing him a lot this semester because he is the greatest philosopher in Western history.
Debatable.
And he teaches us.
Yeah, very. What is that? Why would he,
Very debatable.
why would he say that?
Like, well, the greatest philosopher, Immanuel Kant. No, wait, no.
That's like saying
literally,
like
not
the
everybody thinks that.
greatest writer in history was William Shakespeare. Like on
Yes,
what?
no.
On what basis? Like, where are you getting that?
Us how the world works. And this is what he told us. He told us that we can never know the objective reality. There
Oh
is
God,
an
he's going to talk about the Numenor world. Is he going to talk about the Numenor world?
Of course he is.
This is like, isn't this like one of like a portion where it was just total nonsense, right? Like people are like, I don't know about that.
He makes that distinction, right? But I don't know. It's not like really like clear for me that there's like such a distinction as Kant meant for it to be, right?
Yeah.
Between the noumenal and the
The
phenomenal.
phenomenological world, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, are they so distinct, those things, that I don't think that's the case necessarily, and I don't think he actually was able to make a logical case for why it is the way he said.
Anyway, let's continue.
objective reality, what he calls the noumena.
Noumena.
Okay? Or the things in themselves. That is not knowable to us. That is a world we can never access. Why? Because we perceive the world through our senses.
This already on its head is not even correct, that you cannot perceive the noumenal world, because it's possible that the senses actually perfectly perceive a thing and no extra needs to be garnered from it. Like, that's possible.
But it's even more than that. It's even more than that. I mean, think about the laws of logic, right? That's a way of like how the universe works. That's the noumena of the universe, right?
True.
And we have been able, with our senses, with our brain, to comprehend that, right?
True.
So it's not like we are not able to.
It's
to
a whole
reach
other
the noumena.
problem.
That's why it's like I understand
like you
Kant's
can't.
idea.
Yeah.
Why he made the distinction, and maybe for some things, that's true. We don't have like any epistemic access to certain things.
Josian is saying
others,
Kant literally
do.
had a race tier list.
Well, obviously, a lot of people back then had a race tier list. Okay, let's be honest with
Let me
this.
look here. Yes, in the 18th century, in a non-meme sense, Immanuel Kant did outline an explicit racial hierarchy. I need to know based on Kant's tier list. What was it?
Look, where are the Chileans on the tier list?
Where are the
I don't even think he knew where Chile was.
I'm trying to. I'm looking. I'm trying to find. Like, I'm trying to pull up. Fuck. Immanuel Kant tier list. Race. What is this? This is a no, this is not Immanuel Kant's tier list. Oh no. Oh no. That's not it, is it? Hold on. Oh no. Wait, is this it? It's just
Might
scientific
be.
racism.
It looks bad.
It's bad.
It is.
This is bad.
I mean, do you expect something else?
I don't know. I just was expecting like wow. Wow.
China man. I like that. It's not
China man. Ah, yes.
China man.
We have
It's
the Greek,
China man.
the European, and the Circassian chief. Who the hell is that? Who's that guy?
It's probably some white dude, probably.
And a Circassian
From
girl,
other
which is
places.
less than,
Well, of course,
than the
it's a
men,
woman.
the Greek man. And then we have China man, who is equal to the Circassian girl. And then we have the Mongolians. And then the Malay people, which are equal to one another, but clearly lower than the Caucasians. And then here are the American Indians. This is gross. I hate this. Fuck off.
Senses or perception warps the world and changes it into a structure that we can process called the phenomena.
Yeah.
Which are the things that appear to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so the example is time and space.
Yeah.
Time and space do not exist outside of us.
Yes.
Time and space do not exist in
Wait, what?
reality. But for us to understand reality, we need to add in.
I'm pretty sure time and space would exist without us, considering space-time.
Definitely. Yeah.
Space-time is billions of years old. We've never lasted billions of years. So it's fair
part
to
of
say
reality.
that it has existed, right? Like I know
Also,
this
time-
guy is fucking
time might
load
just
of
be
horse
infinite.
shit. Like if I heard this guy talking, I'd be like, all right, yeah, this guy's a quack. Like to me, that's how I'm gathering what this is. Okay, dude, let's be honest. I think a majority of us here probably have not read Kant. I have not read Kant. I have read philosophy books discussing Kant. But no, I have not read Kant directly, but I am aware of the phenomenological world and the noumenal world. There's basically like the way that it was described is like, imagine like a dog. Like in reality, a dog is probably a little bit dingier than what you're imagining in your head. And so there's like likely a perfected form of essence of dog. And this like concept, this like that exists in your head, it's like the world like as it should be, I guess, or as it is, as opposed to like how it is actually perceived by humans. And so that's the difference in noumenal and phenomenological. You're perceiving the phenomenological, but the noumenal world is anyway, whatever. It's
time and space. Okay, that's the example. All right. So how the world works is we perceive the world, we perceive the noumena and turn it into the phenomena for us to process.
Yeah.
In
That
other
part's true.
words, and this is really important, reality is what we imagine it to be.
No.
There is no objective reality. Reality is what we imagine it to be.
No.
Life is
No,
a
no, no.
constant process. because an act
No. Reality is reality, and however you imagine it to be, it can either coincide or not coincide, and sometimes it's really bad when it does not coincide with reality.
of imagination.
Let's see. Merc is saying, "Come on, move on. This shit is boring." Well, then post something. Send me something. All right, you want to move on? You want to go to? We'll go to another
They
one.
don't like Kant.
I don't like Kant
The main
either.
idea is to don't be a cunt.
Don't be
That's
a cunt.
all you need to
we
know.
don't like cunts, and we don't like cunt.
Teachers. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
I
you
do
don't.
like
I mean,
Kant, but
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't. Don't talk about me. It's like, I know what I like.
I'm bi.
Okay, so you also like Kant. Okay, that's fine.
What do I play? I don't know what to, nobody is posting what they want me to review. And or they're making me want to, like, they're like, hey, watch this thing that is 100% going to get copyright stricken.
Yeah, we could look at on YouTube. Remember when I
why the
I think
Republicans
I-
could lose the presidency for decades. Here we go.
Donald Trump is collapsing
they're
with
not.
young voters, and it could be a problem for Republicans for decades. So far in 2026, I've been a little skeptical of some of the polling around Trump's approval rating. Yes, some pollsters have shown it dropping, but we've seen this movie enough times. Major pollsters have shown Trump's support cratering, only for reality to set in and show that was a bit overblown. And the fact that some of the pollsters showing Trump dropping the most, like CNN or CBS, also have some of the biggest polling misses in recent years doesn't help. But over the course of the spring, the preponderance of evidence, especially from high-quality pollsters like New York Times, Siena, and Fox News, has become impossible to ignore. Donald Trump is now at or past his highest unpopularity ever. Real Clear Politics average of polls shows him in a worse position than after the January 6th attack.
Look at that
and his
disapproval rating
at an all-time high. The Silver Bulletin average shows him in an even worse
Holy
position.
crap.
And for the first time, his second-term approval is now in a clearly worse position than his first. Not an enormous
Dang.
difference, but a
You're
clear
right.
one.
This is
While
one of the
Trump
worst
has
in
lost ground
history.
in basically every subgroup in the electorate, this drop is driven by one group more than any other: young voters. Trump is now in a
True.
substantially worse position among the youngest parts of the electorate than he was at this point.
Problem
in
is
his
they
first
tend to
term.
not
And
vote.
that could have huge
They
implications
tend
for
to not vote.
2026, for 2028, and potentially make the youngest Americans consistent Democratic voters for generations.
Based.
Now, this is all especially notable given that young voters moving towards
Based
Trump
young voters?
was one of the biggest narratives of the 2024 election.
Please vote.
Even after all the coconut memes and Brat Summer posting, Trump broke through a wall with the youngest voters. Exit polls show that
Yo, I did not hear Brat Summer. What I heard was Brap Summer.
Brap.
They're gonna brap.
Brapping the summer.
really clearly. From 2020 to 2024, Kamala Harris lost the most ground among millennials and Gen Z, a net
Damn.
double-digit loss. In fact, Harris won voters born in the 90s and 2000s by half the margin Joe Biden did, and about a third of the margin Hillary Clinton did. All
Dang.
of that combined to make Harris's performance among young people the worst for Democrats since at least 2004. And that mattered both practically, it shattered a core part of Democrats' modern coalition, and spiritually. Young people are a symbol of the future, of where
True.
the country is moving. They're more diverse, more college educated, more cosmopolitan. And to a lot of people on the left, the fact that they were consistently Democratic leaning in
Based.
good political years and bad was
Though
valid.
I've always thought that the young, there's a bunch of groypers. Is that not the case? Is that falling
no,
out of popularity where there's just not a lot of, there's really not that many.
There is a, I mean, look, groypers are a fairly big group, but I don't think it's most of young people.
Yeah, hopefully
They're a
not.
fairly small group overall.
Hopefully not.
They're not a huge
Especially Charlie Kirk supporters. I'm really glad that
well,
they
those are
made
not
that
groypers.
Those
but
are not
groyper-
groypers. Those
groypers
are
are
Christian
specifically, yeah.
nationalists. But I know with the Christian nationalists, with Charlie Kirk, they had that song "We Are Charlie Kirk." Dude, they memed the shit out of that.
We
They were
carry the flame. Yes, let's carry the flame.
"We
on them
are
there.
Charlie Kirk." Sorry. Okay.
Foundation of the idea that they were going to win the long-term battle.
I think Gen Z is very, very engaged. I think they're going to save the world.
Trump's 2024 performance seemed to ruin that whole narrative. But now, that performance looks more and more like a fluke. According to polling from The Economist and YouGov, Trump's approval rating among 18 to 29-year-olds has dropped a net 47 points since his inauguration. Polling from Atlas Intel puts it even worse, a net 60-point drop. And pollsters all over are finding this now. An ABC News Washington Post poll finds 70% of those under 30 disapprove of Trump, compared to 27% who approve. And New York Times Siena, probably the best poll in the game right now, finds him even worse. 19% approve, 72% disapprove. Those are catastrophic.
Daniel, I can't wait.
And significantly, they're worse than this point in his first term. Now, there are two big reasons this really matters for the 2026 midterms and beyond. But first, let's narrow down what's actually driving these. To me, there's maybe three big things at play here. First, economic dissatisfaction. You look at any poll on the economy, and Americans are absurdly pessimistic about the current situation. And young people have been at the forefront of that. And that's actually kind of weird. For decades, young people were consistently more optimistic about the economic future than everyone else. Look at this chart. The green bars are when young people had more positive feelings about the economy than the country as a whole. In 2024 and 2025, that went consistently negative for the first time in recorded history. Now that's kind of snapped back over the past couple months. Young people are now right around where the rest of the country is. But that's not because young people have gotten more optimistic. It's that everyone else has gotten more negative. Now, some people, fairly, point out that that's a bit weird, given the youth unemployment rate right now is pretty good in historical terms. And the misery index, which is the term for inflation plus unemployment, is also low in historical terms. On the other hand, there's not nothing here. Inflation is still higher than it's traditionally been in recent decades. And as a result, the Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates higher than they've been for most of the 21st century, which makes it harder to borrow money, harder to get a mortgage.
That fucks the young population, right? And that's why it leads them towards the look maxing and stuff like that.
Excadriller is saying, have you guys seen a Kant book? It's boring as shit to read through. Yeah, it is. Yes. And also, but I did get through Aristotle's Organon, which is also very, very
most philosophers were not good writers.
Correct.
Harder for businesses to spend and hire people. And that combination is, one, the opposite of what millennials had after the Great Recession, when both inflation and interest rates were super low. And two, that combination is something that hits young people especially hard. They're the group with the fewest savings, the least tied up in the stock market, the most career volatility, the most likely to work entry-level jobs, which are facing a real threat from AI. And they're the most likely to rent and face by far the highest barriers to homeownership. It's not crazy. And here's the thing, everyone else now seems to agree that things are bad. Trump's approval rating on the economy has dropped more than any other issue during his presidency. About a net 40 points, according to the Silver Bulletin polling average. People hate Trump's economy right now, which again, is way
he's
different
doing nothing.
From his first
He's
term.
just
Even
like
during the
breaking
COVID
it.
pandemic,
Of course
when the
people
economy
hate
was
it.
at its worst point, it was still his strongest issue. In October 2020, Gallup found a majority of Americans approved of his handling of it. A Marist poll that same month found that it was the only issue he was even close to Joe Biden on. The fact that he's collapsed this much on this issue, which affects young people in a huge way, goes a long way to explain why young voters have soured on him.
I mean, this is what they're going to probably pay in the midterms, right?
This is
because
a huge
they're
part of
being
the discussion of young voters that often gets overlooked. Every generation in America is now more racially diverse and less white than the one before. So big movements among non-white voters are naturally going to play out among the youngest voters. And
less white people.
versa.
Oh no,
we already saw that.
our country's going to fall
According
apart.
to Catalyst, one of the most reliable
They're
exit poll
replacing
analysts,
the white
in 2024, Trump gained 4 points among white voters.
Good.
It's like by replacing, they just mean
seriously, y'all
some-
fucking suck half the time, bro. It's wild.
No, but it's like, you know what they mean by it? They mean that, some white people have sex with brown or black people,
Oh,
and their kids are not
no.
going to be white. It's
By
like,
the
oh
way,
my God, we should
FYI,
stop doing that.
FYI, nobody, no matter what you do, there will always be white people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Always. Until, of course, Earth becomes like an uninhabitable landscape, but that's way ahead of time. But
Yeah, that's
I'm saying-
far away in the future to
as-
the year 2080.
well, I don't know about that far, but listen, will it get bad because of global warming? Yeah. Does it end humanity? No, I don't think so. No, it'd be bad, but it wouldn't be like all of humanity dies off. Anyway, there will always be white people. And I'll tell you why. Whenever there's a temperate zone, that be where make white people. That's where white people happen. Okay. So if people just settle in a temperate zone, don't matter if you're black, eventually you become whiter and whiter. So there's no reason to think As long as there's temperate zones, there's going to be white people, period.
Voters under 30, and 4 points among black voters under 30, but 9 points among Asian voters under 30, and 12 among Latinos under 30. And those were driven by even larger gains among younger, non-white men. So the point is, in the election, Trump gained with young people when he also gained with non-white people. And as president, he's lost ground with young people, while he's also lost ground with non-white people. There's really no way to spin it. Trump has fallen off a cliff with non-white voters, especially Latinos. Take the New York Times Siena poll, which, again, is basically the best poll out there. In April 2025, it found 59% of Latinos disapproving of Trump and 36% approving.
I am astonished that 36% approve. Like, who are these
like
people?
A bonkers number.
Who are these people? Man. Extremo? How many extremos are there? I just don't I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. It's like, dude, you're literally watching your friends and family getting like deported left and right. And you're like, oh, this is fine. Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah,
Not
but
great,
his landscaping
but
business is doing okay. Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
Insanely terrible. And actually still much better than other Republicans' traditional performance with Latinos. Fast forward to May 2026, and it's now 71% disapprove and 20% approve. And here, it's not hard to see the effect of Trump's immigration policies, his diversity policies, his pretty open hostility to non-white people in government. You can go on. Think whatever you want about all that stuff, but it's clearly reversed the progress he's made with non-white voters, and by extension, has hurt him among the most diverse.
They were just like, wait, what? What? Donald Trump is racist? What? He wasn't racist. I don't even understand. Like, where do these people get their facts from? Like, they're just so like independent of reality. I don't even know what else to say. By the way, you're muted, Daniel.
No, I was just like listening to you.
Oh, okay.
First age group, young people. And finally, the third thing that could be going on here. Young people are incredibly anti-establishment, and Trump has become the establishment. This is maybe the most important thing to know about young voters' political outlook now.
I mean, dude, it's like I don't even understand why they fucking voted for him in 2024 regardless. I mean, he was establishment already. It's not like he was like this guy outside of the establishment. He literally was a president for 4 fucking years. You know, he mishandled the country back then too.
Just wild.
And yes, you can come and say, oh, it's COVID and everything. But no, the country was going poorer and poorer like before COVID hit. COVID just like showed the sheer incompetence that he had in handling a crisis.
But that wasn't enough to deter people.
The science way before.
It wasn't enough to deter people. They were like, this is fine. I'm fine with this.
I don't know. It's like I
didn't care.
Think people
they
just
voted
don't
for him anyway.
care. They didn't look. Yeah.
They voted anyway. They didn't look. They didn't understand. Hold on a sec. Give me a moment. My apologies. Back to the video.
Of course.
Skepticism of institutions, elites, and authorities in general. I actually wrote about this for my old newsletter in early 2025, exploring the idea that Trump's anti-establishment vibe and Biden and Harris's pro-establishment vibe created a perfect storm to move young voters rightward. The more time that passes, the more I actually think that that was right about a lot of what went on in the 2024 election. But in the time since, that dynamic has now reversed. Not only is Trump the incumbent president and his party the majority party in DC, which makes them the authority, the establishment, the ones in charge, but he's made a bunch of intentional choices that have destroyed his claim to being anti-establishment. He completely botched the Epstein files. His signature legislative achievement is a bill that primarily benefits rich people. And most importantly, he's launched the US into another major war in the Middle East. Wherever you stand, it's like he's gone out of his way to emulate the mistakes of past presidents, like Joe Biden or George Bush, and allow an impression to sink in of him being an elite establishment figure, which, by the way, is exactly what we talked about on this channel last year. Go check out our video. Not to brag, but I think it warned of exactly what's going on right now. And that's the kind of thing you'll always see if you're subscribed. So make sure to subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to my channel,
and
guys.
Here's the thing.
I hope you guys are subscribed to me.
Disconnect is also playing out within the Republican Party itself. Congressman Thomas Massie, one of the rare Republicans who hasn't blindly fallen in line with Trump on every issue, recently lost his primary, which was a big flex for Trump, who tried really hard to defeat him. But that whole saga also provided some evidence that the youngest Republicans are maybe beginning to move on from Trump. One of the last polls of that primary, which came really close to the final results, showed that Massey was losing in a
dude, I want to, Daniel, I cannot wait. I thought, when Biden had won, that I was like, now all Trump memorabilia is going to be about as relevant as an Al Gore sticker. I'm like, thank goodness this is over. But no, dude, the nightmare was not over. There was still the election denial. There was just 4 straight years of just still hearing about Donald Trump. And then Donald Trump became president again. And I'm like, bro, man, when is it going to end? There will come a day
because he knew
where it will
he
look
knew
like
that was
Al
his
Gore.
only way out. Look, he's like, I think Trump understood that if he doesn't become president again, he's just going to go to jail. He was way too corrupt. He did too many illegal things. He understood that. I think he understood that better than anybody else. That's why he went all in. He did pacts with anybody that would give him money in order to become president. And I'm sure there's more things that were done towards that election than just this. I mean, let's not forget the moment when fucking Elon Musk was paying people to vote, right? Which is, by the way, extremely illegal, and apparently nobody ever punished him for this. And even back then, the federal government was very ineffective, in taking action against it.
So
that was blatant corruption.
Excadriller says, I am happy with the Trump first term, but get this. Did you know that Trump actually had a bunch of people that were stopping him left and right and preventing him from basically destroying the economy? Did you know that? Because that did happen. You can read that in the Bob Woodward book, Rage. It's all about the first the first term of presidency under Donald Trump. It's a remix. His first amendment. I wish people would stop comparing Trump to the Mustache Man. The Mustache Man had a 98% approval rating and did what he said he would do. They were terrible things, but he did follow through. That's awful.
To be honest, Donald Trump also only followed through the bad shit he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Landslide among the oldest Republicans, but winning among the youngest. And other polls show a similar dynamic. A May poll from Echelon Insights showed that both J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio are weakest among the youngest Republicans, and that group is also the most likely to support people like Robert Kennedy Jr., who was a Democrat until 10 seconds ago, or Tucker Carlson, who's becoming a fierce critic of the Trump administration. That is a real warning sign for the next generation of Republican candidates. So why does all this matter? 2 reasons. First is the short term. Young people can play a really decisive role in elections. We saw this really strongly in the 2018 midterms, when young voters turned out at record numbers and supported Democrats by a big margin. Look at that change. Millennial turnout more than doubled from the 2014 to 2018 midterms. And that cycle was the first time ever that Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z outvoted Boomers. And they not only turned out, they voted for Democrats at a historic 2-to-1 margin. A better margin than even for Obama in 2008. That absolutely made the difference in a lot of close races. And it was a key ingredient in the 2018 blue wave. This year, Trump is in an even worse position with young people. And if it stays that way, we could be looking at a similar result. And second is the long term. For a long time, some political scientists have argued that voters...
I like Tucker Carlson right now too. No, dude. No.
Yeah, don't.
No, don't like
Tucker
him.
Carlson,
He's awful.
The only thing, you know what he's trying to do, I think? I think he's trying to kind of wash J.D. Vance at the moment. I think what he's looking forward, is to actually be one of the people that is going to be a big part of the next Republican presidency.
Fuck right off.
Yeah,
of that
and
shit.
the guy that is going to try to whitewash is J.D. Vance, because the J.D. Vance has to do something to distance himself from Trump.
True.
Right? And if he's going to be aligning himself with Tucker Carlson, that's gonna do it, right? Because Tucker's credibility right now is going to rub off on him. But the reality is like Tucker doesn't care about these things. It's like Tucker hates Israel not because he's like this wokester, this guy that understands like the fascism that takes place in Israel. No, he doesn't do it because of that. He probably does it mostly for the anti-Semitism that he obsesses over.
Anyway,
rather than anything,
let's
right?
continue.
First elections play a really important role in the socio-political formation of voting habits. Basically meaning that the candidates in the first elections you vote in and who you choose to vote for in those elections can determine your political allegiance for decades. This is often referred to as the impressionable years thesis, and there's some real evidence that there's something to it. For example, Generation X came of age during the Reagan years and the Republican dominance of the 80s and early 90s, and they're now consistently the most Republican-leading generation. Millennials came of age during the disaster of George Bush's presidency, and then under Obama, and they've become consistently Democratic-leaning. Now, this isn't a foolproof thesis.
Let's see. I feel like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are just contrarians for the sake of being contrarians. Being a Trump supporter is too mainstream for him. Yeah, I think there's for sure some truth there. Candace Owens is just an idiot. God, she's dumb. God, I have no idea why she has a million people like watching her. Blows my mind.
It's definitely still early, but there's some real risk that Trump could be radicalizing a whole generation against him, his policies, and his party. For him, that doesn't matter much. He'll be gone from the presidency sooner than it feels right now. But for his party, that could be a lasting problem. And unless they change something quickly, it's only becoming more likely. What do you think is the biggest reason young people have turned on Trump? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and my news.
Well, that was very interesting, but it appears to be the end of our show, and I'm hungry and want nuggies.
Nuggies. What is nuggies?
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets?
I'm not going to eat chicken
okay.
nuggets, but I was doing the nuggies meme.
Go buy a burrito.
I want
don't know if you heard about the
nuggies.
burrito gate.
Give me the
Burrito gate
nuggies.
is really big right now. You can get a $20 burrito.
Mommy, give me good boy
You
points
want
now. I'm sorry. All right, everybody. I hope you had a good time. We got more coming up. I know we got some debates coming. I don't know if there's anything. I know on Monday I'm going to be going on the Speakeasy podcast. That's going to be fun. And, you know, if you guys like this kind of stuff, then subscribe if you're not subscribed. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.